Yo, what is up, everybody? It is time for the Jason Masoud Show, episode 9, and I have an awesome guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hello, guys. I'm Tiago. I'm the producer behind the 4i20 project, and I'm a psytrance producer and a DJ. And also, I do some down tempo and chill out music producer. I have some experimental stuff. And yeah, we are here today to talk a little bit about everything
Oh,
that I have doing, some music and projects, and that that kind of stuff.
oh, it's gonna be awesome, man. I'm really excited. So you said that you mostly do psytrance, right? How did you get into psytrance? And before you answer that, can you tell us a little bit about psytrance? What makes psytrance psytrance? Tell us about the genre.
Man, what makes psytrance? It's a kind of trance music, with a kick and bass, like a flow of kick and bass, repetitive, but with a lot of psychedelic synthesizers, a lot of psychedelic noises. And I try to do it a little bit different, because the psytrance that I start to listen to it, it's not the kind of music I'm doing nowadays. But yeah, basically like psytrance, it's um, straight beat with psychedelic noise and melodies, with psychedelic timbres, let's say, and very trance, like very with melodies repeating patterns and arps, this kind of stuff. If I'm not so wrong, like to define it.
Right, right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
well, yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to define music, but I mean, that definitely
exactly.
gives me and the audience a good understanding of what it is. Because before I met you, I had never heard of psytrance. I've listened to trance before. Back when I was younger,
Hmm.
like 5, 6 years ago, I was really into Above and Beyond. They had a podcast, and they used to
Yep.
play a lot of trance on there. And I remember I used to be in work. I used to work at a gas station, and I'd just be working like these 10, 12 hour shifts with their podcast on, just vibing out. The one thing that I loved about trance was not only the beat, but how melodic it was and how catchy it was. Especially when there were like
Exactly.
some vocal samples in there too. The music is just beautiful, catchy, and just has a great feel.
Yeah, the progressions, right? I think it's something like trance with the progressions made by more psychedelic noises, more psychedelic timbres. That it's like make it the trance like psychedelic trance, I think.
Ah, okay, okay. Now, how did you get into making music and producing? Have you been doing it for a long
Man,
time?
yes, now since I was 15, I'm 36 now, like 20 years already.
Oh,
Since
wow.
I start like to collect music and being a DJ. Before that, I was a drummer for hobby with a friends, just playing punk rock and other stuff. And I don't know, around when I was 15, I went to my first nightclub, and was super special to me because I start to listen to Prodigy, Daft Punk, some house music, around 2000. And that was my first spark about electronic music. When I heard Prodigy for the first time, was something that really catch my attention, because it was like electronic, but at the same time rock and a little bit punk. And I was in this age that I was skating and listening to punk rock and this
Right.
kind of stuff. And then, like Prodigy really get me on electronic music. Then Daft Punk and other projects. But some months before that, like I don't know, around a year before that, I went to my first site trance party, you know, and then I discovered like a new kind of electronic music,
Oh,
that was like
wow.
full energetic and there's no much vocals on it at this point compared to house music and a lot of psychedelic noises, and the vibe of the party, of the people of the party, really get me, like was really nice party, like everyone, like a lot of people, 2000 people in peace dancing, and that feeling of like Woodstock, or something like that, in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
in electronic music, really catch me up, and I was like, okay, I find it something, a kind of music that I really want to produce and to be part of a scene.
Uh-huh.
And then I start just to collect music, and I write, get back to home and open Fruit FL Studio number two, like the second
Oh
edition,
man,
and I
yeah.
start to try to sequence samples, and already trying to do it at the same time that I was learning about it and everything.
Oh
And
wow,
since that,
okay.
I have just dedicating myself to make electronic music.
Wow, that's a crazy story. So you used to be into like skating, punk rock, you used to be a drummer, and then that one you going into this nightclub pretty much changed everything for you, right? It was
Yeah.
that one moment. And you know, I love hearing stories like this from musicians where you're put in a certain setting and then something just clicks, you know? It's almost like somebody shoots you straight in the heart with like this beautiful feeling that just really inspires you, you know? I feel like a lot of musicians have had experiences like this. And it's really cool to
Yes.
hear that that's how you got into the music. So, my question for you is you used to be a drummer. Now, after you went to the nightclub and then you also went to the Psytrance event, you said you started working on Fruity Loop Studio, right? Learning how to
Yep.
produce. Now, being a drummer, going into production, did you have any knowledge about chords and melodies and putting them together, or was it all trial and error?
Man, just a little bit. I was born like my family has an uncle that is a musician.
Uh huh.
Okay, I have an uncle that plays a lot of instruments, and it was like I grew with instruments around me and music, like rock and roll music, psychedelic rock, this kind of stuff. And then I have a little bit of I can play some simple melodies on piano just by ear, but I never had classes of it or nothing. Even drums also I just get it by myself. And when I started, I really don't know much about harmony or scales or music theory at all.
Right.
And I did a lot of music without this knowledge, just by hearing like, oh, this note sounds good, this not.
Right.
And I don't know, I think around 10 years before at that I really went to study, and practice more music theory and playing more like a piano or a guitar. And I even not so good at it still because I don't practice too much. All the music I do it's inside the box. I'm
Right.
just
Right.
messing with samples, and sometimes I just play a melody on piano, record it, and then I quantize it and fix it. That is the main that I have been doing, right? Like not performing.
Right. And you know what's crazy is I'm guessing you said you got into this 20 years ago. 20 years ago, was YouTube even around? YouTube wasn't even really
No,
around back then, right?
no,
So,
man,
you know,
no.
it's like nowadays we have so much technology and so many resources to learn things like music theory and harmony and stuff like that. But when you were getting into it, you didn't have
Nothing,
YouTube. You couldn't like, you know, just
nothing.
go and watch a video that'll teach you whatever you needed to know.
No,
You literally had to just listen to the music, get inspired, and try to replicate it and put your own like input into it, right? And make it your own.
yeah, and yes, and I find some books to read, like Art of Mix or something like that was more related to recording studios, like sound engineering. I was reading all that kind of stuff just to know more and more, but there's no YouTube at this point,
Right.
and was something that helped me was social media at this time was Orkut. It was a social media that most worked in Brazil, India, only in some countries.
What did
It
you say
was
it was called? I've never heard of it. What's it called?
Orkut.
Oh, okay,
Orkut.
okay.
I'm gonna write it. It's this name,
Hmm.
Orkut. And when I went to this social media, that was exactly what Facebook it is today. I made a community of music producer, like psytrance producer,
Oh,
and
wow.
we work inside this community for around like 8 years almost. And at the point that we start to releasing a compilation of music from people that learn inside the community, and
Oh,
like
no
people was
way.
showing and help each other, like at this point. And yeah, man, after like YouTube came in, I think YouTube appeared in 2004. I think I just get used to it around 2008, 2007 that I really starts to like, okay, there's a lot of videos from producers or stuff, but not like today. today it's really you really get what you want in one video in some minutes, right? Like
Exactly.
to learn it. I think I get a lot of years to learn stuff that people now is just learning hours. You know,
Yeah,
just because I
exactly.
was trying it by myself. Like I remember something funny. I went from this first psytrance party back home, and I remember to test Fruit Loop Studio before because I was a drummer. You know, I was
Right.
interested in software for drum, and I tested it and I say, okay. And then I realized, that software make that kind of music. Then I went back home and I put Fruit Loop Studio in my computer and then start to sequence samples. And then I finish a track in one day, you know, like just finish a track. Then I sent this track for a DJ friend of mine that was a very nice DJ at this time.
Uh-huh.
And then he just hit me a message back like, man, this sounds horrible. You really need to learn
Oh
more, you
man.
know, because it sounds terrible.
Oh shit. Do you still have the track?
No, I don't have
Oh
it.
man. That's
I
crazy.
think I was like, I don't have it. I think I lost it with a hard drive that I let it fall, you know, and then
Oh
I lost a
wow.
lot of stuff, old stuff, at some point. But yeah, it was really funny. And then he sent me like more 2 or 3 tracks, like very good one from professional producers, and told me like, man, you need to listen to these tracks and understand how they sound, and get your ears like accustomed with, and try to get like similar stuff. After
Right.
that, I'm sure that I work like 3 or 4 years until I get a good track, you know, something like that that you can hear and say, it's going not bad.
Right, right, right. Wow, that's so crazy. Now, something I want to ask you is okay, so back in the day, a lot of the guitar players that I look up to, or like a lot of the jazz musicians from like, say the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, a lot of these people, I mean, the internet wasn't even a thing back then. So the only way you can really learn is by either learning from somebody, getting like some sort of mentor, or listening to the music and being inspired. Now, since you had to go through that experience where you didn't really have YouTube and you had to teach yourself, so you really had to listen closely to all the things that inspired you, do you feel like, even though maybe it took you a little bit longer to gain the concepts, do you feel like maybe it helped you in terms of creativity because it forced you to kind of do things on your own and the way that you thought instead of kind of getting the answer right away, right off the bat?
Man, totally, you know, totally. Because I really I read a lot of audio engineer and everything with years and learning, and I know how to make my own timbres, you know, on the synthesizer, or I can imagine a sound like whop, and then I go to the synthesizer and I can do it.
Oh, and you can create
And
it. Oh, that's beautiful.
exactly, and that was something that I really love on electronic music was when I discover like synthesis, like from the synthesizers. And I think everything that I learned by my own helped me a lot when I get to this point that I need to learn synthesis, you know, like filters, envelopes, and everything. And then I remember one friend that I had like in the beginning that I was talking with him and say, man, I want that synthesizer. That artist that I love used that synthesizer, was a Nord lead. And he just told me like, man, you don't need a Nord lead. You just need to know how to program a synthesizer. And then you can make exactly that sounds that it's coming from Nord lead. You know, you can get your way to have the same similar sounds from that, from any synth, but you need to know how. And after that click, you know, I just start to research about synthesis, how make a bass patch, how to make a pad patch, and making pressing, you know, like to
Right.
get them.
Wow,
And I don't know. I think
go ahead.
nowadays I think that the some producers have everything on hands already. You know, like you just put them because you have so good samples available. You have so many software, and the software does everything.
Right.
At that point, like if you open like 3 4 synthesizer in the computer starts to crash. You
Oh
need to
man,
freeze the
yeah.
channel, like you need to record as a wave file and then open another synthesizer and try again. It's crazy.
Man, yeah, that's super crazy. But you know, the fact that you had to go through that, you had to go through those experiences, and you know, back then when you were going through them, it was just the norm, right? It was normal. There was no like YouTube. There was nothing in your head
No
saying,
courses.
"Oh, this is hard." It was just the way to do it, right? But now looking back at
Exactly.
it, like that experience, that's honestly beautiful. Even though it took you a lot longer to learn things, you really, really, really had to go down this path, and it must have taken a lot of dedication and a lot of patience to stick with it because it's really, really hard to do something like that, man. And you know, not really using the internet to gain the knowledge, instead having to really go out and really search for it. You know, that's honestly just beautiful, and it really speaks a lot about your character because it means you really had to go through the trenches, you know, to get to where you are now.
Yeah, man.
It's really inspiring,
That's true.
honestly.
Thank you. I really enjoyed how the journey was. I think I made music from 2000 until 2012, and at this point just learning, and I did many projects. And in 2012 I came with 4i20, that it's the band name that I work now. And this this new band that I did, it's the band that really works, you know. Then I start to play it and I start to make music, and that was a result of 12 years making different styles of music, producing and learning instruments. And when I did this project, I think I put all knowledge together, and
Right.
that's why the project works, you know. Then I had a lot of parties to play, agents coming like, hey, you want to work with us? What, just like 12 13 years before I start to learn it.
Wow. Okay, so do you feel like when you came up with 4i20, do you feel like that's when you finally really had the moment where everything just clicked? When you created this band and you put it all together, did you know that like finally, I think I found myself, I found exactly what I want to do, and this might change my life essentially.
A bit, it's a bit like that, but also I was play like producing more underground psytrance music, and then I went to electro house music and house music and did some stuff, and I went to chill out ambient music, and I did like 2 albums of chill out music. And when at some point I was like, okay, I need to do something new that it's not copying, you know, not just influencing from other artists that I like. Because before that, everything that I did, it's something that I want to like from my influences, you know. Like some I heard some artists and they have this amazing sound and just think like, oh, I want to get something like that. And in 4i20 was a click to not have that. I want to make it something different, you know. And
Right.
at this point, I was really missing musicality on the psytrance, because it's nice, a lot of psychedelic noises and everything, but it was hair when you listen to psytrance track with a guitar or with electric bass or acoustic drums. And at this point I just say like, man, I really want to make a project that mix everything. I just gonna make good music, you know, and will be less psytrance than I was doing before, because I knew that people who like psytrance, they don't like much other stuff, you know.
Oh,
And
so they're
people,
kind of they're not very open-minded, right? They're just kind of narrow.
exactly, yeah,
Right.
exactly, kind of. And people who don't listen to psytrance, also it's a bit hard to start to listen to it, because it's super energetic, and you know, sometimes there's a lot of noise, like a lot of synths together. Boom, 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 boom. It's
Yeah.
crazy, you know. And I
Right,
went
right.
to an a kind of idea to make it not so heavy, you know, to make it a little bit more chill, to any kind of people can enjoy it, you know, and say like, oh, this is psytrance track. But actually this is not like a new idea, because like I know artists that have been doing that also, like as a Spongo. I don't know if you know Spongo, and
No, I don't.
Infected Mushroom. Yeah,
Yeah.
Infected Mushroom, you know, they are doing exactly like that. They have like the psytrance sauce on it, the synthesizers, the psychedelic noises, but they keep the band, they keep the music and the vocals. They put all
Ah,
together to make a new kind of music. And that's like why I think Infected Mushroom it's one of my biggest influences, because makes sense what they are doing, like they are making psytrance easy to people that don't go to parties to listen to, like on at home on Spotify, you know,
right.
not only in the party in the dance floor.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's something that I'm trying to get to on my music, like music that you can listen at home, and you can also listen at party and
Yeah,
will
so
not
you
get
have you,
tired
you
of.
have both. And then, the mindset that you have, I think is beautiful because the music that you're making and the music that you're going to make, you're probably going to get a lot of people who have never heard about psytrance before or don't know too much about it and probably get them interested in the genre itself. By not just go
Exactly.
by not just being narrow-minded and saying this is psytrance, this is what psytrance is, this is how I have to do it. Instead, you're saying I love psytrance, but I want to make it enjoyable for everybody, and that's actually going to make the psytrance community and the genre even bigger because then you're going to get people from
Exactly.
other places, that are going to be into it. And I feel like it's really cool that you're so open-minded, and that's your goal, not to just do
Yeah,
it for the sake of doing it because you love it and you want to express yourself to other people and have other people enjoy it, whether they're at a club or they're listening to it on Spotify.
exactly, man. You say it everything. Exactly that. Like at some point, I just want to make music for myself. Something that I like this, I want to make that, and I like this. With time, with the years, I was like, okay, I'm not doing music for myself. Like I have many artists that I love. They are doing music for me. Like
Yeah.
and at some point I start to break myself and say, okay, I want to make something more, like maybe something that I don't like, maybe it's something really good, but I was like mind blocked to it. And I'm sure that at some point I was like that because when I started with psytrance, like the first years, at some point I didn't listen to pop music. Someone
Hmm.
say like, You hear the new pop music from Rihanna? Fuck that,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and nowadays totally opposite that. I'm really excited to see every new piece of music that a big artist is doing, just to see what they came with, like what they bringing from new on that, like what did I can take from influence of that, why so many people like that, you know and trying to mix that with my own stuff, the stuff that I like, the psychedelic music, the this stuff.
Right. And dude, that's so cool that you brought that up because back when I was in high school, I was very narrow-minded. The only thing I listened to was, like 80s hard rock. I listened to a lot of alternative and a lot of like post-hardcore. And anything else? No. Fuck that.
Yeah,
Fuck that. No. I don't listen to that bitch shit. That was like my mentality back then. But now that I'm older and I've matured and I've gained more experience and played with other people, different genres, I want to listen to every single thing that's out there because whether it's my favorite song or my least favorite song, you can still learn a lot from it. No matter what. Even, there's a lot of pop songs where people like talk shit. Oh, yeah, this isn't even a song, it's just two chords. Oh, they're saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah, but are you listening to the production of it? Are you listening to how they put it all together? Are you listening to what they have in the background that's creating this like nice ambient warm blanket around the track? There's so much more to music than just judging the lyrics or judging it because it's mainstream. Actually, listen to it. If you don't want to listen to it again, who cares? But at least sit down and listen to it and give it a chance before you talk shit, you know?
yeah, man, I totally agree with that. Like nowadays, I really, really get inspired in some music, like that I was hating, when I was
Yeah.
young, and nowadays, like I catch myself listen to the new Justin Bieber song and then loving it.
Exactly.
And that's like,
And
and
there's no
that it's
shame
it's
in
like
that. There's no shame in
no
that either,
shame, not
Yeah.
never, because like I'm really learning from it, like how they do the arrangement and why and how it's the package. Even taking the music out, there is a package that the music, you know, it's delivered, like how they make the promotion, how they make people know about the music before the music was released.
Yeah.
It's so many stuff that you need to learn, you know, like, and they are professionals. They work with the best professionals, and for sure, if you take attention, you're gonna find something that you can learn, you know, you can take and you can use it for your music, for your career. And it's crazy.
Exactly, yeah. And, back when I was younger and I was first getting into music and first learning how to play guitar, I saw music one sided, like, oh, I need to learn about guitar only, and that's all I need to focus on. But now that I'm older, no, you got to also learn about marketing, you got to learn about how you're going to promote a track. Because you can have the best song in the world, but if you release it and nobody knows about it, nobody's going to give a shit. There's so much more to music than just
Exactly,
the
dude.
music. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I have been saying that for people that ask me for how I get signed to a label, or how I get it. And I told them, like, man, promote your own stuff, make your fan base, find the guys that resonate with your stuff, and try to bring them close, like, and delivering new music to them. And then you're gonna get people that really like it. But if you're just waiting for a major label to sign it and to release it, and then everyone will know you, that's that's not true. That
Hell
don't
no.
work. I
Yeah.
have I have trying that. Like, I get demos from a really talented artist. Then I listen to the music and say, "Whoa, that's next level." And then I release it on my label. That it's pretty big label, and we don't have much people listen to it because no one knows him. He don't have a fan base. He don't have any market work of his work. He just want to make the track and put it out and wait for people go there and listen. But
Exactly.
nowadays, man, we have thousands of track being released every day, and will not be like just lucky for someone that find it and then boom. You're gonna need to go there and show your music and make any kind of stuff that can help you, like to get more people to listen to your track. Make the fan base. I think it's the most important.
Exactly. And
Je-
go
Jesse
ahead.
Fox just said the psytrance is like a EDM metal.
Idiot.
It's the
Yeah.
metal.
Well, I mean,
It's true. It's
it's
true.
kind of true, right? It's kind of true. By the
It's
way,
true. Yeah.
yeah, real quick, I want to say what's up to Jesse Fox, Exo Spider, Mr. Kane, everybody who's in here watching. T to the C,
Yo,
thank
yo,
you
yo,
so much for the
guys.
bits. Everybody in here listening to us chat, what's up? Thank you so much for joining us. Something I wanted
Thank
to
you,
bring
really,
up.
guys.
Something I wanted to bring up was something you said. So sometimes it's not even about the music. When you think about it, like you said, there's like 1,000 tracks being released every day, probably even more, right? And there's a lot of
Exactly.
really, really good music. But what really separates an artist, I feel like, and this is something that I'm learning as I get older, is you got to release good music. Of course, you have to. But also, who are you? Do you have a certain do you have a vibe? Do you have character? Do you have a certain presence about yourself? What when I think about the people that I look up to, say Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was incredible, right? He was also very creative.
Yeah.
But one thing he also had was he had swag, man. He would go on that stage and he would literally take that stage and would not give a fuck about what anybody thought. And he just had a vibe about him, Look at somebody like, okay, I'm gonna name somebody that's more current. Okay, like say Cardi B. Whether you like her or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you like her music or not, it doesn't matter. But dude, she's got swag, man. She's got a personality, and her personality is so strong that a lot of people hate her, but she's still at the top of the charts. It's more about
Yeah.
making good music, making people care, making people relate to you, whether it's good or bad. All right, there's a lot of people out there that a lot of people hate, but they're still also very successful because they got you to care enough to talk shit and to hate about them. So
Yeah.
it's
It's true.
beyond the music sometimes, Good music, of
Yeah.
course, but also, man,
Yeah, it's the first part. If you have the combination of good music and good promotion, good way to spread that, probably you're gonna get success. You're gonna be successful with your album, your EP. If you have a plan in how I gonna show that people, I release it, and where I gonna show, like what kind of market I can do. and I'm sure about it. Like I heard even artists that it's not so good at mixing or composing, but they had enough for make people like to have people entertained, and they make like incredible work of media and marketing, you know. And like you say, like they talk with people, they appear, and then they went super big, you know, like giant artist. And it's not only like, oh, he has a best quality of the world. No, he just have enough quality, you know, like for that kind of music, that kind of genre, and he has the rest to make it work. That's
Ex-
totally true.
exactly. Mr. Kane Music put good music is the minimum requirement, but it's 50% of the work, I think, maybe even less. Yeah, totally. You know, it's
Yeah,
so much
it
more.
depends. It depends.
Go ahead, go ahead.
It's a Yeah, it depends because like maybe I don't know. I can make a kind of music that I really don't like, you know, and this kind of music can be even super more simple to produce and don't need a lot of effort. And if I promo it, maybe it's getting more and more popular because the genre or something like that. But at some point, you need to choose what you like too, you know, because if you lose like what you like, will not be pleasures to produce, right?
Right.
And I think that's why I keep it like with psytrance mixed with everything because it's something that I really love, like this the psychedelic noises, the and
Yeah.
for sure like sometimes it's even less than 50% the music and the rest is more about marketing it and promoting it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you know, you bring up a good point because as musicians and as artists, it's really easy for us to get caught up in, oh, I want the views, I want the fans, I want the numbers, you know, I want the money, whatever it might be. But in the end, if you start making music only because you want to get big or only because you want to get famous, you're not going to be able to do that for 10, 15, 20 years. Eventually, you're going to burn yourself out because, look,
Exactly.
I think all musicians can totally agree with this. We got into music because we loved it, because we're passionate about it, because we really, really, really. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought because Diego's trolling me in the chat right now. I want you, Jason. Damn it! You got me. I was trying not to break character. God damn it! Oh, you got me. Okay. Damn you, Diego. You got what you wanted. But like I was saying, we got into music because we're passionate about music. And if we lose the passion only for the views or only because we want to get famous, there's going to come a breaking point where we're going to get depressed. We're going to get burnt out. We're not going to
Exactly.
want to do music at all anymore. So it's really tough. I feel like we need to find a happy medium where we all need to make a living, and we all want to make a living doing what we love. So it's
Yeah.
about finding that happy medium, kind of like what you're saying, where you love psytrance, but you don't want to just only make it psytrance. You want to mix in everything else that you love and make it very enjoyable and easy listening to anybody listening to the music. And I feel like that's a great mindset to have because you're making music that you love and music that's going to appeal to everybody and not just like a small little niche community. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly that.
So I think it's interesting. You know, being a musician is not easy, man. This shit
Mm-mm.
is not easy at all, bro. It is really, really hard. It's
No, no, no. Even now, like with COVID, we get a really big hit in all musicians and artists, you know, because like I was doing shows for many years, and then from nothing we just lock it at home, no shows, and you know if you really don't love it, you're gonna get crazy or start to something else. And instead that if you love it, you're gonna find a way, you know, you're gonna find a way like here in Twitch, and let's start to make music on Twitch and connect people and start keep doing it, you know, like
right.
that's true. Also, if you have a group, like, I don't know, you can make a track, and this track went to a big playlist and went to a radio show, and then you get super big, and was just one track, you know, and you're gonna be there, but you're gonna go down again, you know,
Yes, yes.
and you need to be prepared to be down again, you know, like to be here and say, okay, I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna need if I want to make another track that's gonna be a hit. I'm probably not gonna try to make a hit. I'm gonna try to make a good track and promote it, and maybe it get a lot of plays. And but you're gonna keep doing it, you know. And if you don't love it, once you get down, you're gonna get, you know, like super depressed, like, oh my God, where was everything that I had, you know?
Exactly,
And
dude.
you're giving value for the wrong stuff, you know, like, because everything that you did is still with you, like everything that I learned, and I can make a new track every day, and I have everything with me to keep working.
Exactly, you know, and that I think that's what really separates musicians who are doing it for fame versus musicians who are doing it for the love. Because I feel like a musician, even if they get a number one song, top of the charts, they're not going to stop making music. That's just like a nice little award almost, you know, a nice reward from the world. But if they really love music, they made that track, and guess what? They're going to move on to the next track. And that's just the way it is because, you know, like for me, and I know for you also, when I wake up, what I'm thinking right away is I need to work on music. Whether it's practicing guitar, working on an original, I don't have a choice. I do not have a choice. I have to. I don't have to think about it. I don't force myself. I have to do it. It's just a part of me, you know? And it's because I'm passionate. You're passionate. If you really love something, you're going to wake up and you're going to want to do it because it's not a job. It's not a chore. It's just what you love doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Real quick, do you
Exactly.
have? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just complaining like it's exactly like that. Like I wake up in the morning and say, okay, I need to work in that track, and I need to went to the stream to make some music live, and fix my other track and release some track and sleep and repeat.
Yeah, and you know that's
That's
why
it.
that's why it's so tough, man, because it never stops. It's like what Jesse Fox said in the chat. Music is a lifelong journey. You don't just stop. You know, it's like
And we don't have vacations,
yeah.
because
Oh my
even I
gosh.
went out of my home. For example, if I went out of my home to a camp house for 7 days, man, if I don't have a computer, I will be crazy, you know. If I
Yeah.
don't have a computer to just put ideas or to work in something, because my brain's always like working in that,
Right.
nothing
Right.
more.
Yeah, and I can relate, man. Like, a lot of the times, my girlfriend, sometimes she'll be like, you know what? Why don't you just take a break? Just take a break. And I'm like, what? A break? I can't take a break. If I wake up and I go like 8, 9 hours not working on anything or touching my guitar, dude, I go crazy. I literally
Yeah,
go crazy because I have to. It's
I
just,
know that feeling.
you can't, it's hard to take a break, man. It's hard to shut off your mind when you know exactly what you want to do and you know you want to get better. And I feel like if you're a
Exactly.
true musician, then you know that no matter how good you get or what you learn, there's so much more to learn. You can't just stop. When you get comfortable, when you stop seeking that, seeking more knowledge or learning more, I feel like you're going to hit a plateau and you're going to go downhill because we need to always keep learning because there's no way to master music. There's always more to
You said
learn.
everything, man. Exactly. You said everything. You always need to learn, and if you stop, for sure you're going,
Yeah.
because you need to learn something new every day. You need to learn how to stream, because now you have a way to stream and show your music to people, and you need to learn new technology, and you need to learn every day. You have something to learn.
Right.
That it's and that is also what make me really excited every day, you know, because I know that there's something that I want to get it. I want to learn it, you know, and then I'm gonna need to give some time on it and get it.
Exactly, exactly. Now, I have a
Uh,
question.
Je-
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Jesse Fox just say that I bring a field recorder when I go to vacation. That's a good one. I'm always with a laptop, you know. That's why if I also take a break, for example, with my boyfriend, for sure in the middle of it, he gonna say like, "Man, we are in vacation. Stop
Right.
that, and let's walk. Let's do something
Right,
else."
right, right. And it's hard, man, especially,
It's hard.
okay, I know there have been a lot of times, you can probably relate to this, where you get in this state of flow. You start working on something, and then out of nowhere, you forget about everything around you. You forget about everybody. The only thing you're focused on is the project. You're locked in, whether it's an instrument or producing, whatever it is. Time, you completely lose sense of time. And then, like, sometimes I'll be working on something and then I'll look at the clock. 3-4 hours have passed by and it literally feels like 5 minutes. And it's almost like I look at the time and then I go like this because I'm zapped out of it because I was somewhere else. And I can't really explain it. It's a state of flow, you know? It's beyond
It's
me.
exactly like that, man. Like there's many days that I just cross the night and I look to the window and say, "Oh my God, it's day already,"
Yeah.
and I didn't saw it like the time passing. I just want more 10 hours to stay
Yeah,
making
yeah.
what I'm doing.
Exactly. Now, do you also have times where you just cannot get that state of flow and you get really bad writer's block and you sit there for hours? You feel like you can't get a good idea and you just get frustrated, so you work on it even more, but nothing good comes out of it. Do you ever have those
For sure.
experiences? I have those
Yeah,
all the
man.
time,
Yeah.
man.
Man, it's a lot of different experience. Like for example, to stream, it's a new experience that I having. Like to
How long have you
produce on
been
the stream.
streaming?
It's like 5 months since August, I think.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Since August from the last year, it's like 6 months, 5 6 months. And I was not streaming too much. I just went to stream more when I did like audiovisual DJ set stuff, and then I started to stream more. And then I went to okay, let's produce some stuff. And then
Right.
I did a full track live, like doing it every day on stream, and was super different experience because I have the chat talking with me, and then someone give you like why you don't put some strings there, and then you say, oh, okay, let's put some strings there, and then you
Yeah.
start to do something that you normally don't do, and you end with something different, and sometimes it's even, I think it's a bit hard to produce on stream because it's hard to get to the concentration point, because when you're concentrated making music, you normally don't talk, you're really going to jump into the next idea, and make it happen. And when you have the chat, sometimes you just go back to the chat, and then
Yeah.
I get lost sometimes, like what was doing, like I
Yeah.
was just talking with people. Let's listen everything again from 100 times, and
Right.
let's get
Right.
it. But I think with more time, I'm gonna get better on it. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
get more comfortable, like to produce and to talk with people at the same time.
Right. Man, that was a really good point. I actually haven't really heard anybody say that, but when you're on stream, you got the chat to worry about, there's people in there who are watching you. You don't
It's
want them to get
different.
bored. You don't want them to get, annoyed. You don't want to ignore them. So it's,
Exactly. You don't want to say shit. You don't want to
yeah.
to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
something stupid on the stream or in the
Oh
music,
my God.
like
Yeah,
you always like, oh my God.
exactly.
But
And
yeah,
oh man, and me as a guitar player, when I'm practicing something really difficult, I would always avoid practice streams because, when you practice something very difficult, you're going to sound like shit in the beginning. Even if you're a good player, if you're learning a new concept,
Yep.
you're going to sound like shit for a little while until you get the concept down. So I was always worried because, when you're on stream and people are actually watching you and you hit a bad note or, you play something that's not right, it's hard because, us as musicians, of course, we have a little bit of an ego and we want to be proud of our work. And it's really hard to let go of that. It's just a whole new experience, But like
Yeah.
you said, with more experience and more time, I feel like those little things, we're going to get more comfortable with it. And it's not even about sounding
exactly. We
perfect.
don't. We're not gonna start to sound perfectly, but that's the point, and to be comfortable with that, right? Like, oh, I did
Exactly.
something that sounds shit, right, guys? And then
Yeah.
you just
Then you
delete
laugh.
it and do it again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
the way. I think
So, go
much
ahead.
more we're doing, like how much more I'm doing, it's becoming easier, like
Right.
every day. I just need to do more. That's
Right,
the
right,
point.
right. Now, how has COVID affected you? I like asking this question to musicians who are actually out and playing gigs, gigging musicians. How many shows were you playing before COVID happened?
Man, I don't have an exactly number, but for example, just in 2020, I canceled 4 international tours and
Whoa.
more than 100 shows, that I had already scheduled for this year. It's supposed to play in many different places like Mexico, Australia, Switzerland, France. I had
No
many gigs,
way. Really?
and really, and everything went down. And that like man, for me was that affected me a lot, like in financial way, because the shows was the money was coming from.
Right.
But I'm lucky to have a record label, and this record label it's giving also a little bit, and my music that I release on Spotify and YouTube, it's also giving something, some money of it, and that I was able to just stay at home, like I was able to not need to do something else to get my money to pay my rent and to pay my food.
Yeah.
The music keep me that, and that's why before like 20 years working, like I get to this point that okay, like I can stay at home, but I know many artists that don't have the same lucky, like they don't have another like a label or something else. They was just doing music and shows, and that affect them much more.
Right, right, right.
And instead to be like, I don't know, depressive, because yeah, I had many days that like I was just like, oh my god, like everything that I work in all my life, more than half of my life, it's gone because that. But at the same time, I went to learn more stuff. I went, okay, I have time at home, okay, let's learn Unreal Engine, that it's a platform to make games,
Right.
and I started to learning it like right in March from 2020,
Uh-huh.
and in August I released a set inside a game platform, like playing inside a game, kind
No
of.
way. Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
I
that is
can I can show
incredible.
you like a
Show
part of
us.
it.
Please, please, please. Yes, if you can pull up that video, please show us, man. That sounds badass, dude. I didn't even know that was possible.
Man, it was
Dang.
was like 4 months of work with my two friends helping me with 3D stuff and kind of stuff. But was super nice because I used it a lot of my time, and I had something else to learn, that I wake up every morning and my head was like, oh my god, I need to do that. I need to learn something else to get that project to play inside a game engine done. And that kept me like for 4 months working. And
Is that why you learned it? Is it because you wanted to do DJ set inside of a video game?
exactly.
That was your whole goal. When you first said
Yeah.
video game design, I was like, "Oh, he wants to design video games. That's interesting." But now
Yeah,
it's
now
like,
I want to.
dang.
Yeah, now I want to design video games too because I'm learning more and more about the engine, and I'm having more ideas in how games are coded, how it works.
Right.
But at this point, I just want to make a show inside a 3D world, and the way that I find to do it was using a game engine, and then we did like this.
Wow, you designed this? Bro, my mind is being blown right now.
Compliment here, like this other guy that with me, it's a VJ Pickles. It's a VJ friend of mine, and this big screen here, he does all these visuals on this big screen also live, inside. It's like he's doing from his computer what it's passing on this big screen right behind us, and everything is inside the game engine.
Wow.
I'm gonna jump some parts just to
Sure.
not be because super big. Let's find some. This part is it's nice.
So you two jumping around and everything, that's all happening live, right?
This part here, we just like the guy just synced the video that I took a vocal from a track that I sampled, and then he put the guy synced like on the big screens behind us. It's pretty funny.
Through time.
parts here.
And this is the crucial part of our philosophical reflection we have today. Can we therefore conclude that humans are concerned more with having than being?
Yeah, man, like just crazy stuff.
Bro, that is insane. You know what? Can you play like maybe one more minute? I'm like in awe right now.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
enjoying this, man.
For sure.
I'm enjoying this.
Let me take a part that I really like to show some. Like this one, there's a vocal synced on the screams. It's nice.
Oh yes, keep it playing, keep it playing. Damn, bro, this is insane.
It was really crazy experience to work on that shit.
Wow,
I really love
man.
it to learn. I love computers, like everything tech related. I'm really into it. And then when I discover like this platform and say, okay, I want to record a green screen and I want to play there. And then this friend just told me like, okay, I want to be with you and I can make visuals on this big screen. And I say, let's do it. And then start to learn. And for that, like I use most of my first months of pandemic was learning how to do that. And right when I released that on YouTube and Twitch and everything, I start to learn how to make the audio visuals that I'm doing on Twitch. That it's different because it's in real time.
Right.
Just using a lot of different softwares to like Snap Camera, the same that I use like to become a mushroom
Oh yeah.
and other stuff
I love
like
that,
that.
dude.
And let me be a mushroom for a while.
Yeah, go ahead, go
Okay,
ahead.
now you have a mushroom guest, man.
Yep.
And like
The
this
mushroom is
what
in
I
here.
came. The mushroom is here finally.
You know what? Give me a second.
And-
Give me a second. Hold on.
Okay, don't worry.
I gotta put the Mario hat on, bro, because you know Mario loves mushrooms. Yeah.
I have
oh,
a song
man.
with a Mario melody, man. I did a
Oh,
track
no way.
with that. I stole this melody, yeah.
That's so awesome, man. That's so awesome.
And like in Twitch, I'm doing like different because I need to I need to communicate with people in real time. Then
Right.
I was not able to do it like in a game engine, but I'm working on that. I have a project that I'm working it that it's to be inside a 3D engine real time on Twitch, and then I can talk with people, and people can request like stuff, like maybe a channel point that a helicopter passed through the stage or something like
Oh
that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah.
I want to work in something like that. But like what I'm doing on Twitch, it's different because it's just real time and shaders behind me to make the audio react,
Right.
and a green screen, and it's
Yahoo! Yo, this track makes me want to bang
let me-
Peach.
woo. Oh, gonna hit a jump.
Dang.
This is the story of the
Oh, it's gonna get crazy.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, this is a track from a friend. It's a really
Wow.
jazzy, at the same time metal and weird feelings.
Right, right. And I noticed
Crazy
that
track.
I heard the little guitar line, I think it was. It sounded very jazzy. It had kind of a swing feel
Exactly,
to it.
very jazzy.
Right.
Exactly. There's a lot of jazz and also metal on it. I really love to play this track. It's a friend from Australia.
Uh-huh.
And right in the beginning of this track, it's check.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like...
There's some metal influence and jazz and everything. It's really special track.
Wow,
It's
man.
from a project called Sublime. Actually, he changed his name some months ago to Surreal. S-Real. I'm gonna write in chat, like
Sure.
just to give him a shout out. It's
Oh, yeah.
real music on SoundCloud. It's really special kind of psytrance that also mix like jazzy and metal, other kind of other genre, with psytrance. Really special. Traz coffee pra mim, por favor.
Man. You know what? Dude, I'm just gonna say... You literally blew my mind right now. That was incredible.
Oh, dude. Just having been working in many ways to put my music and show to the people, like
Right.
that stuff was like, okay, I need to do something else, like to mix with my music. Thank you.
Oh, how sweet. What you drinking?
It's a coffee,
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
black coffee.
Oh, you like your coffee black. Nice, nice. But something that you mentioned that's beautiful is that you can sit around and you can be depressed and you can be really sad about COVID happening and losing your gigs, and it's totally understandable. I could totally relate. I was a gigging musician. I was playing 3-4 gigs a night, or not a night, a week, and losing all of that out of nowhere was just insane because that was my main source of income. I have a part-time job, but my main source of income was playing music. And for me to get to the level that I did, to where I was consistently playing shows with different bands, I was playing with like 5, 6, 7 different bands sometimes, learning different repertoire, probably had about like over 100 songs memorized, and making those connections, learning the songs, getting the techniques down to learn the style of music, it was like a very long commitment. And to just lose all of that, literally in a second, in a flash, it was really, really unfortunate. And, eventually I realized, you know what? Okay, I'm not playing any gigs, which means I don't have to learn a bunch of music. I don't have to memorize a bunch of music. I don't have to go to a bunch of different rehearsals. I have a lot more free time. Let's figure out what else I could do. So I ended up getting more into production, more into songwriting. And then I went on Twitch TV. And the crazy thing is, I used to think of Twitch TV as, a place where gamers stream. I had no idea they had a music section. No idea at all.
I had same before.
And my brother ended up telling me, oh, they actually added, a music section to Twitch. There's a lot of musicians who stream on Twitch. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to do it. But then I ended up getting on here and streaming. And wow, dude, Twitch is a beautiful platform to not only get yourself out there and showcase your music, your skill, but also to network. Without Twitch, I would have never met you. I would have never met Codeezy.
Exactly.
I would have never met Jesse Fox.
Exactly, man.
I've met so many talented musicians on here. And it's just amazing because, as somebody who's not a big producer, I'm more instrumentalist, I'm a guitar player. But I can go into your stream and watch your process, and I can even ask you questions, and I'm sure you'd be more than happy to explain some stuff. And that's so much better than watching a YouTube video, because now, if I have a specific question, I can actually go to somebody who's extremely talented and literally ask them exactly what I want to know while they're live on stream, and have them maybe even give me like a quick example, And
exactly that, man.
And not only that, it's like now I can collab. Like me and 4i20, we're going to be working on a collab very soon. And it's just exciting, to be able to bring people together on a platform. And I'm so glad that I started streaming. I'm so glad that you started streaming as well, or else, like the streaming community wouldn't really know who you were. It's just beautiful, It's beautiful because we were able to take a negative and turn it into a positive. And the cool thing is, when things do go back to normal and we go back to our normal lives, well, guess what? We're going to have our live performances and our connections, but we're also going to have this whole new side that we've built, which is social media, which is the streaming community, and even stream live shows and stuff like that. It's actually a blessing in disguise in some cases,
Yeah, it definitely was an opportunity for me too, and I have the same feeling, man, about Twitch. Like I met so many nice people and so many amazing, talented artists and musicians and people that does his stuff and start to streaming, and because they stream, I just know it, and and now I'm connected with these people like you and me, and like Jesse Fox was the same, and Deathbringer, I went to Deathbringer because
Deathbringer's a badass, bro.
Yeah, man, he's amazing. I went to we did a talk someday, like in the Christmas, we did a talk about some of this stuff that we are talking here, and was super amazing. And he was one of really inspiring me, like to, okay, look, this dude is doing interviews and he's smoking weeds on the stream, and a lot of stuff that I relate, and because was in his stream, I met you because I saw you related to Deathbringer, and then I said, okay, let's hit a follow for this guy because he's doing music and he's those how I say in English, like reviews, like music reviews. And I was jumping stream to stream and meeting these people. Right. And now I feel like if someone don't stream, like Jesse Fox, like almost every day he does the morning glow.
Right.
And sometimes it didn't happen, and I'm just take myself searching for it, like where's Jesse?
Yeah,
Fox,
exactly. Yeah. It's honestly just it's beautiful that this pandemic has actually. I've been able to build different connections that I would have never had. If COVID would have never happened, I would have never hopped on Twitch. I would have never met a lot of amazing individuals that I have met now. And
same here, man. I will probably be doing shows and will be very tired during the week, like making music just to have the new tracks, and I will not have time to just hang, and I will not start to do it for sure if it was not
Exactly.
COVID.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you said that you had to cancel a couple national tours. Now, when did you start actually playing shows? Was it back in your younger days when you were first getting into music, or was there like a time
Yeah,
period of you learning and then actually going out and performing?
first I'll get like a year or two just learning how to be a DJ, at the same time learning how to make music on Fruit Loops.
Right.
And then I start to play in like birthday parties, and then like someone get married, and then okay, let's make a music for some guys there. And I have a connection with the DJ of the club of my city, and then one day he just say, okay, come here and make 1 hour of set, and I need to go to the bathroom and I need to go there, and you stay,
Right.
take care. And then I went like right in the beginning already experiencing playing and clubs and people, but when really gets to like serious party, like big parties and traveling around the world, was before 2012 that I did 4i20. And like 4i20 was my door for the world. Like I
Wow.
played in many countries with 4i20 because the style of music, and because it was something fresh on the scene, and also because I had a lot of connections. I love to connect with people on internet. Since before I was like part of communities on Facebook, or trying to help, and also asking for help, like
Yeah.
exchanging energy with people, and always like trying to exchange energy with people out of my reach. Like, okay, I never played in Australia. It will be nice to know someone that plays psytrance there, and start to talk and talk about how is the scene there. Well, and then you're producing, yeah, oh, let's make a collab. And then we did a collab, and then I get a way to expose him in Brazil, and he exposed me in Australia. And at some point, I went there to play, and then
Wow.
it's like I'm always like in this internet world trying to make my own connections, because I don't have like a major label or something. I even did my own label, because in the beginning I was sending my demos to record labels, and they was not accepting it because my sound was different from the classic psytrance. Like everybody was doing a kind of copy of themselves
Right.
in some way, and I was bringing something totally different, and then they look to it and say, nah, this is not so much psytrance, And then I say, okay, let's. I want to. I don't want to change my music. I don't want to copy what everyone is doing. I want to do my shit,
Yeah, yeah.
and then like get a way to promote my own stuff. Do it by myself without depends of a major label or nothing. Like,
Wow, that's incredible. And that's a lot more work on your end because you're the one who's pulling all the strings and you got to worry about making music. You got to worry about like, mixing and mastering it, promoting it, and
man,
then getting
I
yourself
do
to
everything.
shows. Wow,
I
man.
do my websites, I do my music, I do even my pictures. Sometimes I went to front of the camera, and
Holy
click like
shit,
with
bro.
a
Yeah.
control and trying to do my everything by myself. Once let like some stuff, like if I want this show in a game platform, and I realized that if I want to pay a company to do it for me, I will pay it like five, almost like $20,000 for a company to do it for me,
Right.
And the software is for free, and I know how to use computers, and I say like, no way. If I pay it 20,000, I'm not gonna get return because I'm not super big famous, Like it's not valid the investment, and will not get more money just because it's a super production.
Right.
But I went to it anyway, because I like games, and I say like, okay, there's something interesting in the middle of pandemic that I can do. That it's this virtual show. Let's work it by myself. And most of my stuff I did like that, like doing my own stuff, my own connections, reaching the people. That's the way.
Wow. That's incredible, man. That really requires a lot of dedication and a lot of days with probably no sleep at all and just grinding,
Yeah,
grinding, grinding.
true. I
That's
live.
just
I live. I live in a house of a friend, in the middle, like in a camp house, far away from the city, for 7 years, just to not expend much money to live, because it was super cheap to be there, and just learning how to make music. You know, like the 7 years in this place, I was just inside the studio every day, crossing nights, and even was not getting any money from it, but I was just unable to stop to do it. You know, I remember to came back from a party that was funny. Um, I went back from a party that I was supposed to get like let's see, $500, and it was exactly what I need to pay my rent and my food from the mount. And the party went wrong, you know, like they don't promote the party. Was no one in the party. The party
Oh
owner
man.
didn't get any, didn't sell many tickets, and he didn't pay me. You know, like I went back home like, oh my god, you know, was expecting that money to pay my rent, and then I was very depressive. Like, oh, okay, I have more than 10 years putting all my energy on that, and I'm taking myself like without money now, and I need to pay my bills. And I just looked to the speakers and said, you know, and I thought like, okay, I'm gonna sell it tomorrow, and I'm gonna stop with that. And one like I went to sleep, and then when I wake up, I just make a coffee and I roll another joint, and I sit to the studio and say, not gonna sell it, fuck it, you know. I'm
Right,
gonna
right,
pay the
right.
rent in some other way, and fuck it, you know. Like I don't care if I don't pay
Yeah.
the rent. I'm not gonna sell it. And then keep producing, you know, keeping doing way to get stuff done. Like,
Wow, man, that's so crazy. You know what I love about this is me and you. So me and 4i20, Tiago, we've only had one conversation really. Like it was a Discord call talking about the collaboration we were going to be working on. But I didn't actually really get to know him like this. So everything that I'm hearing, all these crazy stories, I'm hearing for the first time. And it just really shows how talented you are and how passionate you are about music, man. Like that is a real grind to make the decision to live far away from the city for 7 years because it was cheap, because you knew the only thing you wanted to do was music, and the only thing that mattered wasn't where you were living. It was about getting the experience and putting in that work, putting in that practice, and sharpening your blade, gathering more tools to put in
exactly,
your toolbox, because eventually you knew that it would make your dream come true. Make music your living,
exactly,
right? And it really takes a special person to be able to say, fuck everything. The only thing I want to do is what I love. Even whether it's paying me or not, I want to pursue it. Man, that is really inspiring. And the question that I have for you is, did you ever have moments where you wanted to quit, where your mind started playing games on you, and you started to hear like little voices in your head saying, you know what, maybe just get a real job and do music for fun, or like, or even seeing other people that you knew blow up, and then you were comparing
yeah, man.
yourself to them, and you were like, fuck, this
Man,
sucks.
I had many times of this. Even times that friends, you know, was like some friends just come to me and say, "Man, stop that shit, you know, you're gonna lose your life because you're not gonna get any money from that, and you're losing your time, and you're already on that like 10 years and you don't get nothing for that." It was just like, what you saying, dude? Like, like
Right.
exactly why, because I went 10 years already. That's why I want to keep going. You know, I'm not gonna throw 10 years of my life. I know how to make music now, and just need to keep going and evolve and find a way to promote it and to connect to people. And this time of the that I think to sell my speakers was one of the hardest, because I really want the money. It was not a lot of money. It was just enough to pay my bills, and I didn't get it. And I was really like, what I'm doing with my life. I have 10 years that I just put on that. I get out of my school, everything, and just doing music. And yeah, luck of mine, one day before I just wake up and say, no, not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep my speakers. I'm gonna keep doing music, and I'm gonna find another way to pay my bills. You know, I'm gonna make work for someone else. I'm gonna make a website for a friend, and I'm gonna get this money. And I get a way to get this money, you know, and not sell my equipment. And yeah, there's many on this journey that I was to some point that I want to quit, mainly in the first 12, 13 years, because okay, in the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, it's just excitement, you know.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's just excitement. I just want to go to a party. And at this point, I was even playing for free in the parties just by the opportunity to be there and showing my skills at DJ and my music selection that I want to show them. And yeah, when I went to around like 10 or 11 years, then sometimes I get it more and more because I was really preoccupied with my future, you know, like, okay, I didn't come from a rich family. I don't have a house to live and die there. I really need to came out with my future, like a place that I'm gonna live. And to make a studio, I need a nice room to put my computer and my stuff. And that was really, you know, like this voice is talking to me like, oh, you're doing the wrong stuff. Like, take out of this and get back to school and gonna learn something like, I don't know, computer coding or something that I also relate. But I can't, you know, like one day before I just want to make music again, you know,
Yeah.
like it's something that I'm not able to control. I even really get to these hard times and it was not enough to quit. I was just keep going. And then like 2012, I did this project 420. And in 2013 and 14, everything gets really bright for me. You know, I was very known in Brazil and playing a lot of parties. And then I get my first international gig and was only excitement, you know, like, okay. And, and everything was very well until COVID, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's still very well because I'm really trying to use all my time for positivity, you know, like learning more stuff and more technology and more music, get inspired by other streamers like Jesse Fox. It's always doing his chill music, and I was watching him playing piano every day, and I say, man, I need to practice my piano every day, you know.
Right.
And because him, now I know how to play some songs, you know, because he was explaining on stream like, if you use like, if you do the bass with the octaves, you know, like only in the octaves, then you can play the melody with the right hand. And I was, yeah, let's try that, you know, like, and
Oh wow.
get
Yeah.
inspired and learning. It have been pretty nice time on Twitch, man, really.
Oh man. You know, and y- honestly, everything that you just said is extremely inspiring. Mr. Kane Music said, "I'm in that phase right now, and I just can't think about other stuff to do." I think, Mr. Kane, you're thinking about some of that self-doubt where, you know, it happens to me all the time. You know, I kind of went through it, I think about a week and a half ago, where I came to a point where I was like, dang, man, I haven't reached my goals. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Back when I was younger, I always told myself, I remember being young. So let me tell you a quick story about when I realized I was going to play guitar. I'll make it very short and sweet. I think I was about 7 or 8 years old, and me and my parents, we were looking for a place to live. So we were going through places, you know, going through different houses, apartments and stuff, going to these open houses where somebody would take us into their house, show us the house. And we stumbled upon this house. The guy led us into his house, and we started doing like a little tour of the house, you know. He showed us the bathroom, the closet, we went through the kitchen. And as we went through the kitchen, I remember we turned right, and then we made another right. When we made that right, there was a door to our right-hand side. It was a closet door. So then the guy was like, oh, yeah, we have a little closet here. He opened up the closet, and there was a guitar in there. And I had never played guitar ever in my life. And I remember as soon as he opened that door, man, and I saw that guitar, I was like, something happened to me, man. Like, I don't know what the hell it was, but something in my heart, just my heart started racing. I got all shaky. I was just excited, you know? And I remember once he opened that door and I saw that guitar, in my head, I told myself, I am going to fucking play that thing. No matter what, I'm at least going to touch it and play it. So he ended up closing the closet door. We went around, and he was going to take us to the second floor. So we were going up the stairs, and then I was like, oh, hey, I need to use the restroom. And then the owner of the house, he was like, oh, okay, we have a restroom upstairs. And I was like, no, it's okay. I'll use the one downstairs. And he's like, all right, go ahead. So they went upstairs, And then I literally ran down the stairs, opened the closet door, grabbed the guitar, just started playing like a bunch of bullshit. I didn't know how the hell to play. Played it, and I remember
You just want to touch it. Yeah.
That's all I wanted. I remember I played it, and then I put it back, closed the closet door, and then I peeked through the side to see if they were coming down the stairs yet. And then they weren't, so then I ran back in, grabbed the guitar again, played it again, and then I could hear them coming downstairs, so then I put it back, closed the door, and then made my way back around to find them. But I remember after that moment, I was only 7 or 8, and I had never played guitar, but something inside of me knew that I just had to learn how to play this instrument, and I wanted to be a musician. That was it. And then fast forward to now.
Amazing, dude.
You know, like fast forward to now,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of ups and
All
downs.
struggles.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I've had a lot of ups and downs as a musician, and made a lot of connections, grinded, played a lot of bad shows, been to a lot of band rehearsals that were terrible, had people laugh at my playing back when I was younger, back when I sucked, also had a lot of great performances, went on tour with a funk band, made a lot of connections in my area. And, sometimes I still have the doubt where things start kind of falling down a little bit. Like maybe my Twitch views go down, my YouTube views go down, my YouTube isn't growing, my social media platforms aren't really growing and they're just kind of staying flat. And sometimes I'll just sit there and I'll be like, man, do I really want to keep doing this? Like, should I just kind of settle down, maybe get a full-time job and do music on the side? But whenever I have those moments, I always wake up the next day or maybe in a couple days and I look myself in the mirror and I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up, bro. You can't do anything else. Like, dude, come on. No matter how low you feel, bro, if I try to get a full-time job and stop playing guitar or stop pursuing music, bro, I'm going to blow my fucking brains out because that's literally all I want to do. So, hearing somebody's story like yours, hearing your story, man, it really resonated with me because I've had a lot of like rough moments where I have these conversations with myself and I want to quit. But hearing the struggle that you had to go through and the commitment, and even after 10 years, you weren't really where you wanted to be, but you kept going anyway. And then you finally formed 4i20. And then, everything from there was just positive. Dude, it's very, very inspiring, man. And like, thank you so much for holding on to your dream.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Because hearing your story.
Your story also inspiring me, dude, it's mutual.
Yeah, it's like, man, it's just beautiful, dude, to meet people who are at a great place, but they didn't get to that place right away. It's really easy to see these big artists or people who are bigger than you, who have a bigger following than you, and just be like, oh, wow, look at him. He's got all these fans or all these plays on Spotify, whatever. But then when you get to know the person, you start hearing these stories about these moments where they could have easily just quit. But instead of quitting, they kept going, and that's why they got to that point, because they didn't stop. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
Bro,
exactly.
it's beautiful,
this is something,
man.
Yeah, that is something interesting because, like, when I was young, because this, like, if there's a kind of music that I don't like, I don't care about it. And I had this feeling like, this guy just appeared from nothing and now it's fucking famous with this pop music that it's shit. And with the years, like nowadays, I just get like, how I say, like documentaries about some of these artists, and I was learning about his stories, and then I realized like, oh my God, the guy just took 35 years to get where he at, like learning every day and keep doing every day, and was not for nothing, like everyone worked a lot,
Exactly.
that can be, we can find like little cases, that the guy just went famous from nothing, but even that cases, there's something there, he's doing something that people like it, and that's it, like he find it his way. But
Exactly. Exactly. And I feel like that really shows the maturity of the musician. Because if a musician is sitting there and they're judging somebody or they're talking shit about somebody else's success, it clearly means one of two things. One, maybe they're inexperienced, or two, you're fucking jealous. You're jealous
Exactly.
as fuck.
There's no other option. It's only these two options.
Exactly, man. Because, you know, a true musician, somebody who's comfortable with themselves and they're doing it out of love, they're not going to hate on anybody else. Even if they don't like the music, they're not going to say anything talking shit about that person. Maybe they'll say, oh, wow, he's doing great things. But, you know, that music isn't my cup of tea, but I could see why people enjoy it.
It's exactly. If someone says something like that, you really realize that, okay, this guy's, you know, like, knows he learned because he's respecting, even you don't like the style of music, but you need to respect, and you need to see what it's special there, even you don't like it.
Right. Yeah, because if millions of people
that's
like
totally
it,
true.
right? If millions of people
Exactly.
like the music, there's a reason why.
There's something.
All right, there's a reason why.
It's exactly. Maybe you can compare yourself at this point, you know, like, and say, oh, there's shit music and there's billions of people, and I'm doing my amazing, beautiful music, and there's no one listening to it, you know, and it's that's shit, you know, like because maybe it's your music, it's amazing for you, but for a billion of people, it's not. You know,
Exactly.
And that guy get it, like.
You got to respect it. And, you know, Mr. Cade, exactly. Respect, that's it. Respect,
That's it, exactly. That's the like in psytrance, we have the plur. I don't know if you heard about it. It's peace, love, respect, union. You know, like,
Right.
it's a phrase that they have in tracks, and they spread, you know.
And even in, like,
And
raves and stuff like that, isn't that kind of like a message that goes around? I've seen that word a lot
Exactly.
before.
It's plur. It's peace, love, union, respect, and that's it's all about. But even it's that, you know, like, we really feel like people on that it's really mind closed, and they just say, okay, this is not music, this is shit, you know, like. And I don't know, like, with time, I think everyone is gonna realize, like, they are missing a lot of good stuff in life, you know, because they just don't open to it. And
Right.
it was like me when I was young, you know, like, I didn't listen to pop music because I don't like it, because maybe influences, or because I was a punk rock guy and fuck the system and
Yeah.
that kind of shit, you know. And at some
Exactly.
point now, I just love it. I get so much inspired from big producers and amazing big artists, and it's not easy, because at this point we just think that, okay, make a pop music, it's easy, you know, like, I just need to hear a nice love story that went wrong in the end, and
Yeah.
sing it. But it's fucking hard, man. Like,
It's-
to make it's fucking hard, you know. If it was
Exactly.
easy to make a pop music, a pop music, a song that became popular, you know, not exactly trying to make pop music, but just to make one song become popular, it's hard. If it was easy, everyone was big artists and rich and a
Right.
lot of plays and Spotify, right?
Yeah.
Like,
You know, and I want to tell you a quick little story about what you just said. So I remember I played a gig. It was probably like 3 weeks to maybe a month ago. It's a gig that one of my buddies, he holds at a block. It's like a block party, right? So we set up in the driveway, and you know, we put a band together, and then we play for the neighborhood. So I remember I was on this gig. Now, I don't play this gig all the time. I get called up when they need a guitar player. So I was on this gig, and I was playing with maybe 3 or 4 musicians that I had never met before. And, you know, we all got together. I think it was like a 7 or 8 piece band. We had guitar, bass, drums, 2 trumpet players, saxophone, trombone, and a vocalist. So it is a pretty big band. So, you know,
Amazing.
we played a set that consisted of like a lot of R&B and a lot of funk music and stuff like that. So anyway, we played the gig. It was a 1-hour gig. Everything went fine. It was perfect. We were packing up. People were talking. And then I overheard one of the musicians talking about pop music, right? I wasn't a part of this conversation, but I was listening because I was putting my stuff away. And I remember I heard him, he was like, yeah, you know, I only practice jazz. You know, I only like to transcribe jazz players because, you know, playing a gig like this where, you know, it's pop music, nah, I want this. This is what I want. If you don't have this is a reference to technique, you know? If you don't have this, then it doesn't matter, you know? If you're only playing over a few chords, then it doesn't matter. And in my head, I was going to barge into the conversation and be like, dude, whether it's one chord or 50 chords, it's not about what you play or what the chord is. It's about what you do with the chord, how you phrase the chord, how you make people feel as you play over
How
the
you
music.
make people feel. That's it. Exactly.
It's not about the fucking technique, man. Like, technique is obviously beautiful. There's a lot of people out there who just have incredible technique, especially, when I'm thinking about guitar players. Dude, there's like 1 million guitar players out there where I listen to them and I know for a fact, fuck that, I'm not going to get to that level. But something that helped me a lot and is helping me a lot now is it doesn't matter if you can play 1 million notes per second or you can only play 2 notes. It's only what really matters is if you can play your instrument, close your eyes, and literally express exactly how you feel inside out of the music. It doesn't matter if you play 50 notes or 1 note. It doesn't matter if the music has 1 chord or 50 chords, or it doesn't matter what genre the music is. It's about the emotion. The reason why music resonates with us is because of how it makes us feel. It makes us feel of maybe heartbreak, friendship, love, happiness, family. No matter what it is, it makes us feel something, and that's why we love it. And that's why we picked up music in the first place, because it really struck a chord inside of us. It made us feel a certain way. So when I hear people saying, oh, it happens a lot in the jazz community. Now, it's not all jazz players by no means, but there is like a lot of jazz players out there who are like, oh yeah, dude, you got to be able to fucking play this song at 300 BPM or blah, blah, blah. Or, I don't want to jam to this song because this song is easy. Dude, with a mindset like that, fuck you. It's like...
And yeah, I have a theory also that like complex music, that we have a lot of technique and stuff, probably who like to listen more complex stuff already had a music background,
Oh,
you need
yeah.
to know a little bit to understand that, oh my god, what this guy is playing, it's hard, and for the majority of people, they don't know notes, scales, nothing. They just want to feel some way with the music. If you are like in a psytrance party, I know that they are there, to get escape. Like they are working all the week, and then in the weekend they get this place that they can have fun. And then I need to make fun music. I don't want to make super complex, jazzy, and say to the people, look how God is in this instrument and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. That don't matter if they don't have fun, And I don't know. When I realized that, because I love the technical part, the sound engineer stuff, like everything. I really love the tech behind it. And at some point, I really just need to break myself and say, man, your tracks don't need to be perfectly. Like, you don't need to create the best kick, like bass kick on the word, because a bass kick, it's a bass kick, it's gonna doom, doom, that's it. But if you came with something else interesting and make people happy, that's the way. Fuck fuck too much technique,
Yeah,
And
exactly, man. Exactly.
yeah, when I came with that, I really start to make more tracks in less time, and I did more interesting tracks. I have even an example that when my head was breaking about it, because I have a friend that he has a project that's called Mandragora, and he's pretty big on psytrance scene and really really talented. And one day he was living in the house, we are living in the same house, and he went to me and said like, man, let's do a track for fun. Let's not try to make a psytrance track. Let's do a track for fun. And then like, okay, let's record some vocals. And then he just told me like, I have a vocal that a tax driver from my last gig was singing, that was like, I'm a bad motherfucker because the good die young. And then we say like, okay, let's keep that like as a vocal, and let's make this track for fun. And then I came out with this track that we did like in 2 hours.
Uh-huh.
It's called Bad Motherfucker.
Oh, snap.
And right when we finished the track, I was almost going to a gig, and I had like half an hour until I can grab my bag and go to a gig.
Right.
And then he told me like, why you don't record a video of the song? And I told him like, you think that half an hour is enough to record a video clip, a music video? And he told me, yeah, man, totally. We have iPhones. We just can use it. And I say, let's go, let's do it. And we
Right.
did. And when I finished the song, because the song was really different, you know, like I really break myself to make this song, like doing for fun, not only like thinking like, okay, I need to do a psytrance track that fits on the psytrance scene. That was not the idea. That I was almost doing all the time.
Right.
And when we finished it, I told him like, man, I don't want to release that as a 4i20 because it's not what 4i20 it's doing, you know, like. And he told me like, what the fuck, man, what's 4i20 that did? Don't matter, like, what the fuck, let's put 4i20 and
man.
fuck it,
Right.
you know. And then I was like, okay, you know. And the track, it's a little joke also, but it's a good track. And then the track became super huge, you know. And was
Wow.
like the track that we did for fun. And I'm gonna show you because the video clip
Wow.
really shows like how we did it for fun. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Let's see it, man.
let-
Oh, I want to hear
let
this,
me
bro.
play
I
it.
want to hear and see it. Okay.
Oh,
By the way, shout out to Deathbringer. What up, dude?
Debrig in the house. What's up, dude?
What up?
How are you, my friend? Kane. Love Deathbringer, man. Love this guy. Love you, dude.
I love you, Deathbringer. I love you more. All right. I love you way more than 4i20 does. That's for sure.
We're gonna fight on stream for
I
see
know.
who loves more. Who loves Deathbringer more? Oh, this is a bad motherfucker track with an beautiful, expensive.
Bro, I'm excited. I'm excited, man. Let's see this.
Discover the internet. Cause the good die young. Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
I'm a good motherfucker with a good engine. Chicka chicka motherfucker with a good engine. Chicka chicka motherfucker with a good engine. Chicka pow chicka pow chicka chicka chicka. Now I'm a bad motherfucker with a good day down. I'm a bad motherfucker with a good day down. I'm a bad motherfucker with a good day down. I'm a bad motherfucker with a good day down. I'm a bad motherfucker with a good day down. I'm a bad motherfucker with a good day down. I'm a bad motherfucker with a good day down. I'm a bad motherfucker with a good day down.
Really funny to work on this track and the video because we just did everything super fast and for fun.
Man. The thing is, though, you can tell you guys are having a great time.
Yeah, exactly. We had a lot of fun to build the track and to build the video clip. And I think that's why the track went well, you know. And
Right.
for me, it was really special because I went to Australia to play my first festival in other side of the world. And when I went to the festival, and it was a big camping area, you know, with a lot of cars and tents. And I just walking, and at some point I just heard my song playing in the middle of the camping area, you know. And then I just was searching for it, and then it was like a big tent with 10 guys there, just jamming with the track and dancing. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like
Dang!
the other side of the world, and the people are dancing my track in the camping area.
Did you go up
And,
there?
like,
Did you go up there and were like, yo? that's
No,
my
this
track,
time I
bro?
didn't go up there. I didn't went to the place, but I just saw it from some meters. But was super nice, and because the track was like also a track that was different, like I really in the end that because it was so different from the psytrance music, I even really to release it in my project, because I was kind of mind closed, like, oh, do psytrance, like this is a funk, weird internet track, like,
Right.
and then like after that, I just was opening and open myself, and
Wow.
giving out of this, like to be stuck in a genre or in a kind of music in specific.
Right. And that's the crazy thing, man. Like us as musicians, I feel like sometimes we take things way too seriously, and I'm very, very, very guilty of this. But sometimes you just gotta let go of who you think you are, Like let go of the idea of, oh no, I'm a real musician, so I can't do this, or I can't release this under this name because it doesn't match the other stuff I'm doing. If we just let go of that, and we completely let go of our ego and what we think we are and just literally have fun and express ourselves, then it's going to resonate to people no matter what. Of course, there's probably going to be people who talk shit, but there's always going to be people who talk shit.
Always, yeah.
But, and I have a good friend. His name is Gio. The reason why I love him so much is because whenever me and him get together, now he's not like a trained musician or anything like that, but he loves music. And whenever I get with him, he always pushes me to unknown territory, doing things I would never do because, my ego gets in the way, or I think about it and I'm like, that's too cringy. He always gets me outside of that box and just says, bro, just fucking do it, man, and who gives a fuck? And then eventually, after doing that, I realize, man, I still struggle with this, but sometimes we just gotta let go. In the end, life is temporary. We're only here for so long. And dude, we're just a bunch of fucking humans wandering the world, doing our thing, Like, why do we worry so much about what other people are gonna say? Why do we worry about if we do something, this person might think this, so then you shy away from it, Like, if you were to actually decide not to release that track under 4i20, like you originally did, that track would have never, you would have never seen what would have happened. That track became successful because you let go of your doubts. You let go of that voice in your head that says, I can't do this because of this reason. But instead, you did it because you enjoyed it. Your friend pushed you. You said, fuck it. And the track did well. And then what happened? Over in Australia, you had fucking 10 dudes jamming out to your track. You know what I mean? It's so funny, man. It's so funny how sometimes when you don't really try and instead you enjoy the process and you have fun with the process, something just blossoms out of that, And what your story is a great example of that.
Exactly, dude. Also, like, I think if let go this feeling, to these lines that hold us, we can make different stuff every day, and like some stuff, it's for some people that will resonate with that, and like maybe a more chill track, and then people that like more chill tracks will like you because you did a chill track, and then you did a metal track, and the people of metal say like, wow, the track, it's actually amazing, and this guy is good. And then he went to your SoundCloud or whatever, and then he checked that you have a chill track and say like, wow, that is also amazing, different chill track. It's not metal, but it's amazing. And
right,
I really think that we be very open, and we're gonna make music for different places, people, feelings, because like this track that I just showed, it's something totally for fun, it's
right.
something like really positive and for fun, and we don't want to show like how deep we can go with synthesizers, how psychedelic we need to go with this track. We don't care about that. We just want to make a funny track, and that works even better than a lot of tracks that I did before, just because I was not so locked in myself.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, and it's crazy. You brought up something about like maybe one day you release a chill track, and then another day you release a metal track, and then maybe the metal track attracted a metal head who likes metal, and then he checks out your other stuff, and then he ends up liking the chill music too, and then he actually becomes a fan of your work versus a fan of the genre that you're making. But I also think, now I'm going to give you some context here because it's something that I'm kind of experiencing. There's also a chance that maybe you might lose a couple fans because they're expecting
Yep,
a
it's
specific
true.
genre from you or a specific sound, and if you break away from that, oh, I'm not going to fuck with this guy anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I know that. I know that.
Right,
That
and
that happens.
for me,
But
go ahead.
I think at this point you're gonna lose one fan, but you're gonna get 10 new ones
Right,
because this new track. I think this guy can't respect your freedom to make other stuff. Like, because music, it's music, it's universal. That there's no genre, that something's better or not. Like, if he don't like your new track, that chill, and he stopped to follow you, I will probably like it. Like, okay, you definitely don't need to follow me because you just like one track. You don't like my work. You just like this track. And okay, keep yourself with this track forever.
Right.
I'm gonna jump to the future and see if I can came with different stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the kind of mindset that I'm trying to get myself into because I started a YouTube page probably about like 5-6 months ago. And I've been posting like a lot of different stuff on there, like I do some Twitch highlights on there. I upload the Jason Masoud show on there. But I also was doing a lot of anime covers. Now, there was an anime cover that I posted on TikTok about maybe 3-4 months ago. I posted that cover on TikTok and it blew up. I went from 38 followers to probably about 15,000 in a matter of a week and a half, right? And I loved it. It was
Crazy.
great. I loved the exposure. But now what I'm realizing is when I post something that's not an anime cover, I barely get any views. And, I came to the realization because when I saw that success, I started doing anime covers for my YouTube page as well. And my anime covers do a lot better than my other content. Now, I haven't gone viral on YouTube or anything like that. But when you compare the numbers, 800 views on an anime cover versus 14 views on, like a feedback stream highlight, it makes me think, like, you know what? I could probably get pretty successful and probably get pretty far doing strictly anime covers. But do I want to be the anime cover guy? Do I want to be known for only doing anime covers? No, that's not why I got into music. And now I'm trying to switch my mindset and realize that even if my numbers drop or my views drop or maybe I lose some subscribers, maybe I lose followers, if I'm not being true to myself and I'm only making content for other people, fuck that. Fuck that, because in the end, that's not why I got into music. And it's something that I struggle with because it's really easy to get caught up in these numbers and these analytics and saying, oh, if I do this, I'm going to reach a lot more people and I might be more successful. But is my heart happy? Am I happy? Am I going to want to wake up every single day for 5 years to do that? And am I going to be happy, or am I going to hate guitar? Am I going to hate music? I'm probably going to end up hating everything. So.
True, man. And there's something else in this topic that I want to highlight, that it's like the algorithms of the social media, because, for example, you did a cover of an anime song and then you saw that the engagement, and then you kind of reached the algorithm, you getting something that a lot of people has interest to it. And if you keep just doing that, you're gonna work for TikTok, not for yourself. I get the same feeling on Instagram and Facebook, because I remember when Facebook was good, we just post something and your friends saw it. Was beautiful, like you have your likes in your page and you have 100 people that like your page, and then that almost 100 people will get your content, and at some point when they start to the advertisement system on Facebook that you need to pay, they start to don't show your stuff to your fans,
Yes.
And if you want Facebook to show them something, like to show people something, you're gonna need to do something that Facebook like. You know, you're gonna need to do some meme or some stupid video or playing some stupid music or something that it's more. And if
Exactly.
you start to doing that, you get like a slave from the social media, and I get that from like from some years to now that the social media is getting like worse and worse for artists. That you really need to do something else instead of what you should be doing, like
Right.
music. And I really feel like my Instagram and everything just slowing down because I was tired to need to post every day. Like I'm always like wake up, and I need to think, okay, I need to, I need to find a hard drive with some old pictures because all the new ones I already posted. But if I don't post a picture today, my engagement is gonna be down, and I'm gonna lose my fans, and at some point I get blowed by that, because at some point
Exactly.
I just can't, like holding it. And then when I get to this point, I just start to be more balanced and I'm making waves. Was the way that I find to keep it, because also if you just stop to post, no one is gonna see you, right? And then I realized, like, okay, I'm gonna post less, but I'm gonna post a meme sometimes. If I really like it, and make me laugh, I'm sure that I can make more people laugh with that, and then I post it.
Right.
Or someone else just did a painting of me because he liked my work, and then I post that. And I have a new track and I post that. But sometimes I pass a week, without content just
Right.
because I need to stop and create content for that, and right now it's even been a little bit easier because we can take some parts of our stream, and that became some content on Instagram. But I know that if I post two memes every day, my engagement will gonna be 4 times better.
Right.
But I will be not a musician anymore. I'm gonna be a channel of
Oh,
of
wow.
comedy.
Yes.
And but that also don't let me think like, okay, I'm not gonna post the memes anymore. I will keep posting. Sometimes I'm gonna post a special one that I really like it,
Right.
and then we see that it's getting more engagement because the content. But between that, I'm gonna post some new tracks, some stream that I did, and some promotion for the next stream, and mixing that, and sometimes doing nothing also because I get tired of it.
Right. Right. Do you need to wrap it up or are you good?
No, no,
Oh, you're
it's
good. Okay.
okay.
That's a great point, and that's a great way to look at it, because in the end, you don't want to lose yourself in the process, but sometimes it's okay to do something that other people might enjoy as long as it doesn't start defining you. And I think that's what was really giving me trouble, and just making me kind of like go a little bit
Don't want
crazy.
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because if it defines you, it's different than doing it every once in a while. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna probably release maybe 1 or 2 anime covers a month instead of doing one every single week. And then in
That's
between
good.
that, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. And if my engagement goes down, you know what? Maybe in a few years, people will start liking me for exactly who I am versus, oh, he did an anime cover. Oh, this is the anime guy. So I feel
Yeah.
like it's about creating a balance. But, content creating as a musician, if you're on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and you're also streaming on Twitch, and you also have a YouTube page, it's a lot to manage, man. And it's hard.
It's a lot.
And I
And
think
like
that's
people,
why. Go ahead.
yeah, people that it's really successful on these platforms, people that I know, like near to me, they have people working for them. They have a designer and they have a dev guy just do the video editing, and another guy just writing content. They don't do it by themselves.
Wow.
And when you try to do by yourself, you really get like, oh my god, I have 4 medias just waiting for content, and I don't have any content. And when what I want to do now, nothing. I just want to smoke a joint and start a new track without,
Exactly. Oh, bro.
I
Yeah.
don't want to take
Exactly.
some new pictures
Yeah.
or to do that or that.
Right.
It's hard. Like Mr. Kane said like the content creator versus musician relationship, it's really screwed up. That's true, man. It's hard. It's something hard. We struggle a lot, even more nowadays, because who start to promote they one work on Facebook 5 years ago, 6 years ago, they get the best time of Facebook because Facebook was delivering the content, was
There you
not,
go.
was just you posted and you have something special and bang. Right now it's everything, it's sell out, it's sold out, you know, like it's an ad system. And when you need to make an advertisement, it will be fucking expensive because you have a lot of different big companies just targeting the same people that you want, you know, like VST plugins company, you know, like that
Right.
normally I have on my ads on YouTube. It's like buy samples, buy presets. And because there's a many more companies targeting these people, the conversion is becoming expensive, you know. you're
Right.
gonna you're gonna need to expend much more and more money to reach that kind of people. And if you don't put money, almost nowhere, you know, like sometimes I post a new track and I have 10 likes in a page that it's 200,000 likes, you know, that I was getting from years working. And I don't have them anymore. It's just like Facebook just bring me like the solution. And I was like, oh my God, now I can have a page and everyone can follow me, and I can deliver my content. And at some point they just close the door, you know, and say like, okay, give me money. I show
And
your
then I'll
stuff
let
for
you
your
back
own
in.
people.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's
Dude.
why
Uh-huh.
that's why I'm really happy with the Twitch. Even my channel don't reach like big numbers, that I don't have hundreds of views or I even getting any money from Twitch. I really love Twitch because it's different, you know. You really need to build the relationship. You don't depend of the algorithms or something. There is algorithm also, like some people can just get to the stream by the tags or everything, but the viewers, the real viewers, they are connected, you know. And I really love it because it's something that, like, okay, we have Discord channels that we can kind of organize our stuff. And different from Facebook, who is there, it's really interested on our work, you know, in your
Exactly.
music. Or this is super special, and it's much more powerful than the social media as we was using before, you know, like
Right.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah. And you know, it's so pathetic. You're talking about you have a page that has 200,000 likes. 200,000 people chose to hit the like button. They weren't forced to like it. It's because you were grinding, you were putting it, you were releasing good content, releasing good
Yeah,
music.
and working for that, you know, like
Right.
showing people the links and trying to bring them.
Yeah, and then what happens? Facebook literally stopped showing the people who followed you, the people who chose to follow you. They stopped showing them your content. And if you want the people who chose to follow you to see it, you have to pay them. Instagram is the same way. Dude, a lot
It's the same. It's
I didn't
Facebook.
Bro, I didn't even realize that until maybe like 2.5 years ago. I paid for like a $5 ad. What did I get out of it? Oh, a lot of friends that already follow me started liking the video that never like my stuff. And then I realized, dude, Instagram, are you guys even showing these people my shit, man? They're following me. I had to pay you for you to show this person that I've known for like 10 years my stuff? Dude, what the hell,
Yeah.
man? Honestly, and
What
you
the hell?
yeah. You brought up a
That
good
is the
point.
feeling. That is the feeling I have about social media, because in the beginning it was working perfectly. People was watching my videos, and at some point I just taking myself like expending more and more money to get the same engagement. At a point that I just look to it and say, okay, I'm gonna stop to put money here,
Right.
and I'm gonna lose engagement. I don't care. I'm gonna find a new way, but I'm not gonna expend like a lot of money every month in everything on Facebook anymore, because I did the fan base, you know, like I promoted and I don't have access to it anymore. That's why when I change it, like my mind, and start to work more on YouTube, Spotify, because like Spotify, they, if they like you, they give a play, you get something, you know, from there. It's you get the fun. It's there. If they follow you, you release a new track, they will get a notification. But like all the other social media, it's about like algorithm and how the algorithm goes. And I don't know. That's why I really expending much and much more time on Twitch, watching streams, connecting with people, talking with people, collaborating, than passing my time on Instagram or in TikTok or in Facebook. Because I don't know, if you really get a point that everyone start to use these tools, like Discord and Twitch, like mainly Discord, because even Twitch can do the same with us, right? Like
Right.
tomorrow Twitch just can don't show you anymore and bring a new advertisement system that you need to pay them to show your stuff. Like
Yeah.
we they can do it. Like, but on Discord it's different because like there people that was in Discord, they have interests there. If they went to there, they really have interest. Even they want to ask you some technical stuff, or they want to show their music, or they want to be around because he likes you and whatever the music. But I really believe more to work like this way on Discord and build a community. And another stuff that I'm doing, it's like creating email base, like in my website I have like a form that people can give me them his email.
Uh-huh.
And then when I have a new release, I just send an email from MailChimp for all my fans that I have the email.
Oh,
Because
and
it's
then,
it's a directly contact with your
Right.
fan. If you get them, the name and the email, they allow you to send them to keep them updated.
Right.
And that works much more than social media, and like,
And you don't have to worry about them not showing these people your stuff. They're definitely going to get it 100%. And there's no bullshit. There's no games, And that's
exactly. And if you don't
that's
want
great.
to like it anymore, they just unsubscribe and stop to receiving the email.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Like,
and they have the choice. Versus,
They have the choice.
Instagram, Facebook, all those platforms, there's no fucking choice. The only people who are choosing are the people who own the platform, the algorithms, the big companies. Dude, it's just one like really sick game because it's sad when somebody works so hard to build something and then these people decide, oh, you're gonna have to pay now to get those people to see your stuff, And you brought up a good point, man. Twitch is absolutely beautiful because the one thing that I love about Twitch TV is it all happens live. This isn't pre-recorded, even with like YouTube, when you're making a YouTube video, you can cut if you say something stupid, if you stumble, if you stutter, you can just cut
you
it.
need to wait for the comments, to check the feedback, like what had happened with my new song, and then you need to go days before and check what the people are saying. And here you just get it
Right away.
right in real time. Like,
Real
looks
time.
this track, and then they chat like, yeah, the track is good. The bass, I'm missing some bass and that, and you have like a real time feedback. Like,
Exactly.
this is beautiful. It's magic.
Exactly. And I feel like Twitch has made me more comfortable with things like making mistakes on guitar where, like, when I play a show, I'm practicing my ass off because the last thing I want to do is eat shit on stage and embarrass myself. But on Twitch TV, I'm on here for like 2-3 hours sometimes. I'm going to fuck up. I'm going to look like an idiot. I'm going to play the wrong chord sometimes. And I'm starting to get
Exactly.
more comfortable with, like, laughing about it. Like, oh, wow, that sounded like shit. Kind of like how we were saying earlier. And it's
Exactly.
just so real. It's so real,
It's exactly. Someone went to the chat with a joke, and you just go to it, and give a joke back, and
Exactly.
it's fucking amazing, man. It's interactivity, and that is the other part that we talked before, that we need to show ourselves. Like at some point they will need to see, they will see who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing that, like what, how you get there, and
Right.
this is pretty special, like and it's much more easy to deal with than YouTube, like, because I don't know, sometimes you just have a new song and you post to YouTube and you have no plays because the algorithm don't want to,
Yeah.
and you get sad because you say, man, I worked so long on this track. And sometimes you just get this track and went to a stream like yours or that bringer and you give a feedback, people give you a feedback, and it's much better, you know, like
Right.
than no comments and no plays on YouTube, you know, just two, three
Exactly.
comments, very specials that say you like, look, you are don't see in that part, but it's there, like, and then you say, wow,
Yeah.
really, I was not seeing that, and the guy told me the right stuff to do or to change or to
E-
make in the new one.
Exactly, yeah. And then it'll even bring people to your page, and then you're eventually going to get more YouTube views and more likes and comments because people actually heard your stuff on a stream and they actually liked you. Then, you know, like I've had times with like Deathbringer stream where I'm on there, somebody ends up following me, then I go on stream, and then one of his viewers comes in and hangs out with me. And it creates like just a beautiful community, man. And that's what I'm realizing now that I've been streaming for probably like going on 6, 7 months or something. That it's not about the numbers, it's about the community that you're building. It's about connecting with the right people and just kind of like intermingling all of our communities so we're almost like this one big happy musical family, you know? And we all support each other. It's not a competition. It's not about who gets the most views or who makes the most
Exactly.
money. It's about all of us just having fun and being ourselves and coming together and doing shows like this where you come onto my
And
show, we
help
hang
each
out.
other and
Yeah,
yeah, share energy. Exactly,
exactly.
man. Like
Yeah.
on Twitch, it's amazing because I just went to Twitch and then I start to meet one guy that was playing, and then I was like, man, it's amazing your work. And then he was like, oh, thank you, man. Like, okay, gonna hit you a follow and check your stuff right before. And I remember when I start to stream, and then I start to get raided
Oh,
by
yeah.
people that was really love the content, you know, and you see that they don't care if you're doing the same kind of content, you know, like you're doing interviews or you're doing music. They are also, and then they bring people to your stream. It's not like in the music industry there's this side, you know, that people really compete themselves. Like
Right.
if someone release a new track with a big production music video, and then you know, so you look there and say, oh my god, I need to do something even bigger and better and blah. And here it's like it's more like, okay, someone say like, I want to do visuals, can you help me? And I say, yeah, man, like jump to my Discord and gonna talk about it. They're gonna give you software names and that kind of stuff, and you're gonna get there.
Right.
And I'm glad that I can open this door and you can reach what you want faster because I can help, you know. Instead you
Exactly.
make you big, give a big round and get there anyway, and then it will be like mad with you because you can't help because you
Right.
can, but you didn't, right? And make much more sense like just to help each other and share energy, collaborate. And Twitch, it's how I feel Twitch, you know. It's how I feel this community that I'm involved with, you know. Like,
Yeah. It's honestly
Mr.
just
Kane,
beautiful. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Twitch has been helped me with a lot of stuff. I'm practicing my English and I'm getting less antisocial because of this. It's amazing. I relate totally with that because I'm I have 20 years that I'm here, the same place in front of a computer, you know. And now like with Twitch, I talk with people about music, about stream, about this stuff every day more than I was doing before, because I'm not the kind of guy that always out, like super social, you know, like I'm more like stay in the studio, getting what I want and learning what I want,
Yeah. I
and
relate.
also training my English because like since I started to stream, I was obligated to talk with people in English, to hear the English and to understand it, and to write English in the chat, you know, and even I get help from people that explain like, hey, I'm learning. If you see something really weird when I talk, like just let me know, then I can fix it and learn it from it,
Right,
you
right.
know. Twitch have been really, really amazing.
It's beautiful, yeah, and it can help in so many ways, you know. Even like something like language, like you're saying, and Mr. Kane is saying. Mr. Kane, I'm so glad that Twitch has been able to do that for you, man. It's honestly such a beautiful platform, and I'm just blessed that my brother told me to get on this platform because I never realized the potential or what Twitch could be, you know, the sense of community. And a lot of the times, you know, like 90% of my experience on Twitch has all been positive. You know, not too much negative. And if there is negativity, who cares? There's always going to be negatives, but the people here.
And we and for that we have the admin, someone to take care, you know, like to help us, and we can go there because if there's negativity, I'm gonna block it. I don't care. I don't want your opinion once that there's no respect, right? I don't know if you think like me, but really, if there's someone that is speaking shit, like really disrespectful, we're gonna be banned. You
Right.
know, like it's this is cool too. Oh, that bring it right something interesting like important to consider. Existing on only one platform, it's very dangerous. We have seen people banned and the platformed with no explanation more than once. Ultimately, the goal will be to have your own website base. I totally agree. Like a website that can get email from your fans, you know, you can even give them special gifts, you know, to incentivize they give your email. Like, hey, download my sample pack, and then they give you the email to keep updated, and he download the pack. That it's really something. We was talking really about that, you know, like email, like database, website. That it's nice because you really get your fans when you get them there,
Right.
and there's not a platform in the middle. And yeah, Twitch can just like just because I play at a bootleg from I don't know, I have a Billie Eilish bootleg, you know, that I did, and maybe because I play it in a set, I can just became out of my account,
Just
you know,
like
like exactly
that.
banned. And really important to like YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, even TikTok. I'm trying to make some videos, and I try to make some new tracks and put them there. And but the funny video just works on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
tracks
But you know,
tracks don't work.
TikTok is actually really good for musicians too. You just got to find the right community. TikTok.
Yeah, I'm following some now that I'm really
Uh-huh.
enjoying how they do the content, like how they use music for do the content.
Right, right.
It's having like, but then I came back to the point that I need to work more content. You know, like it's almost half a day creating content and half a day you're tired and you need to make music.
Exactly.
It's super hard to make content for all these platforms.
It's really
I
hard as a
really
musician,
struggle.
you know, especially as an
I really
original
struggle
artist.
with that, man.
It's tough.
Exactly, I really
because
struggle with that.
yeah, like you said, you probably just want to go into the studio literally all day and work on something new, learn a new skill, you know, get better at a certain skill. But then you got to worry about content, and then content could take up to anywhere from 30 minutes to like 12 hours, 14 hours, even a few days, a few weeks, depending on what you're doing. And it's taking time away from what you really want to do. But, you know, it all comes down to what your goals are and how you want. Is the platform going to help you, or is it going to hurt you in the long run? You know, I feel like it's good to plan. Something I'm learning is it's very good to have a plan. Planning is good, and balancing is very good as well. And not getting too sucked up in only one thing. Instead, focus on what you love the most. Give that most of your time, but also work on something else that is probably going to help you do the thing that you love and gain a little more exposure. And then, you know, it all kind of comes back full circle, but planning is very important. And that's something that I suck at, that I'm really trying to get better at for 2021. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. Plan.
Yep, same here.
And yeah, time management. Time management,
Yeah,
man.
time
It's
management.
fucking important.
Yeah. And like for me, like I have been reconstructing, you know, like my daily life since I don't have shows because I was like almost every week. And when I have international tours, I get month of house, like sometimes even more. And now this last year was like really okay. I need to use my time every day in a smartly way, you know, and
Yeah.
trying to schedule stuff and putting stuff in my agenda and like the talk we had today. Okay, let me check here. I'm gonna put here and I need to be there. It's super important, and I'm struggle with that also because before COVID, I was really doing the shows in the week, and then I have really 3 4 days free that I can play games or doing stuff that like some chill out don't matter, but
Right.
actually not working in a track that I need to play in the next weekend. And then I pass like 2 3 days play like making the track, and then I go to play, and I play 1 2 parts, and I get tired, and then repeats.
Right.
And now it's totally different because I'm all every day I have full energy, and I'm at home, and I need to balance everything, because almost everything that I like to do is in the computer. Like
Right.
I like to play games, I like to watch streams, I like to stream, and I like to make like audio visuals, but everything computer related, like, or even learn how to make games. And I'm really trying, like, and to get some hours out of the computer, like to force myself, like, okay, you need to do something else, you need to go and exercise and
Right. Or
go
like go
somewhere and do
outside,
a
go
walk.
for a walk or
Go
something.
outside,
Yeah.
go to the supermarket that is 5 kilometers and go walking and go back. Because if I don't force myself to do it, I just sit in the computer for more 20 years.
Yeah,
straight.
yeah. Exactly. But all right, I want to play a quick little game with you. It's called I Must Ask You a Question. I'm going to ask you 20 questions, and I want you to answer them.
Okay, I will try.
Okay, let me pull up these questions real quick. Here we go. All right, question number 1 is, who's your favorite producer?
Man, Simon Postful from Spongo.
Ah,
It's
okay.
it's one that inspired me a lot, and I keep listen to it from years, and it's still fresh, and I don't get tired of it, and it's super psychedelic. I love it.
Question 2, why are you so badass?
Why I'm so badass? I don't know. Maybe because I smoke too much weed. I'm fucking badass.
Hell yeah, bro. Punk rock, man. It's all about that punk
Super
rock.
stoned, and I'm trying to also balance that.
Who's your favorite band?
Infected Mushroom.
Infected
I can say
Mushroom?
it's it's my favorite band.
Is it because you're a mushroom?
Yeah, also.
Yeah.
They influenced me a lot until I became a mushroom, for sure.
So I think the chat's taken over these questions. Okay. Does it get tired being so good looking?
Does it get tired so bad? I don't think so. That I'm so good looking. I'm
gonna
always
have to
like
disagree with
looking
that.
I just wake up and yeah. But thank you if you think that.
What's your favorite place to eat?
My kitchen.
Oh, really?
Like,
That's a good answer.
really,
I like that.
Yeah, I like to be doing stuff or eating with friends, and I don't know. I really love to stay at home. Like,
What's your favorite color?
purple. Like, for now, is really trying to use some purple in some stuff.
Oh, nice.
Like it.
What's your favorite modern band? Like a band that's come out in the past 10 years?
Tennyson.
Oh, really?
Tennyson, really, like Tennyson. These guys is 18 years, two young brothers that does really crazy electronic jazz with everything. Or
Whoa, really?
It's crazy.
Dang.
You should copy it and check it.
Do me a
And the
favor,
guy-
send me some links on Discord because I really want to hear this
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure. I'm
Yeah.
gonna send you an album and a video from them for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You were going to say something else. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I will say just about Tennyson that the guy also streams on Twitch. He's doing all his tracks live on Twitch, and
Oh,
it's really
wow.
nice. His work on Ableton, and it's really talented producer and musician, and it's super young guy, and it's amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay, here's a question that I'd love to ask. Would you rather win $1 million or play a show with your favorite artist?
Play a show with my favorite artist will be very, very nice, and probably I get some money from it because I'm playing, and I'm gonna play with my favorite artist.
You're going to get paid. You're going to get paid that night for sure,
Exactly,
right?
yeah. Like,
So you got an
I
experience
can just get
and
paid.
you got money.
Exactly. It's better option.
Let's see. Okay, if you were stranded on an island, what 3 items would you take?
In Ireland, oh God, man, I will need a hook, then I can fish and have food.
Hey, that's smart.
That's a good one, and something to make fire, and something to cut stuff like a knife. I think it's enough. Like, no, not a laptop.
How are you gonna
I
charge the
will not.
laptop? You're gonna plug it into
Will
a
not
tree?
help me, and I will be out of internet, and I can't watch the morning glow there in with a laptop. Anyways, it would be better to
Just
have
take
these
Jesse
other
Fox
tools.
with you, bro. You can have the morning glow in real life.
Anyway, in Iceland, we can make an Iceland just morning glow Iceland festival,
Oh,
and then
dang.
we can just live there forever and invite people. Come to the festival. It's 24/7 music open. Woo!
Oh, that'd be awesome. All right. If you were a Pokemon, which Pokemon would you be?
I don't know much about Pokemon, but a Pikachu. I love a
Pikachu?
Pikachu, and you can throw electricity,
Hey,
and you can say
that'd be good for
and they
like
are
your
cute.
live shows, man.
Pikachu, Pikachu. Yeah, I have a Pikachu that I use in my live shows. Sometimes he appears dancing on the on
Oh,
the
no
overlay.
way. That's dope,
Yeah.
dude. That's super dope. What's your favorite TV show?
Oh man, it's so many, but like for now, like the last TV show, like series, that there's many episodes. Like Rick and Morty, I love it,
Oh, yeah.
and movies, I don't know, the Hitchhiker Guides of the Galaxy. You know this one?
I haven't seen it, but I've
The
heard about it.
Hitchhikers. It's amazing, man. I love this movie. It's old, but yeah, the answer is 42.
Ah, okay.
It's crazy.
Um,
This movie inspired me a lot. Was really
I gotta
love it.
check it out. Yeah, I know it's been out for a while. And I've always heard about it, but I've never actually watched it. gotta
It's
check
crazy
it out.
because like the movie starts with the planet being destroyed, and then starts the movie. It's pretty
Oh,
crazy.
so it just starts right away, like, okay, boom, crazy shit happens. and
Boom,
then the
no
story
no
starts.
planet, and then starts the story. What's gonna happen before that?
Oh man, that's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Okay, what do you prefer, summer or winter?
Summer,
Because
definitely.
way more shows during the summer, right? Especially like,
Not all about the shows. I'm really get myself more positive and happy in the summer because, for example, first time that I went to Switzerland to play, in my head was like, oh my God, they're gonna do snowboard and then they're gonna, be in the snow all the time, and then
Yeah.
the reality was totally opposite that, was -10, and I went out of my hotel room to smoke a cigarette, and I can't smoke it at all because my fingers started to freeze, and then I just
dang.
went back to the hotel because it was super hard, and super windy and super cold, and because I'm not used to have so much cold, I even get flu, and it was
Wow.
not like to be there was amazing experience to play, but the hard winter was super hard, and yeah, like I'm used to living more in the middle of Brazil, that it's more hot, and now I'm living in the south of Brazil, and here in the winter we get 0, -1, -2. It's
Oh, it
very
gets
cold,
cold.
and
Dang.
I take myself on these months less motivated, because I even want to go out on my bed because it's fucking freezing, like, I really like the more hot days.
Wait, so when you played that show in Switzerland, I'm guessing you played inside, right? Was it inside of a venue
Yeah, it
or
was a
some?
club. Yeah, it was in a venue. But yeah, where my plan was to do snowboarding. When I went there, I even went to smoke outside,
Too
of the
damn
hotel.
cold,
That was
huh?
like that was like the experience with too much cold.
Oh man.
Oh, it can get -40 here in the winter. Jesse Fox said, oh my
Wait,
goodness.
Jesse Fox, where do you live again? Dude, minus 40. That is literally just ice,
That's
man.
literally like 3 meters of Michigan. It's 3 meters of ice in front of your door. You have this kind of stuff
I
that,
mean,
that you want to go out and you can
dang.
even open the door because there's.
That's like you go outside for 5 minutes and you turn into a fucking snowman and you start growing a carrot nose. That's crazy, dude.
It happened few
Dang.
times in my life. Yeah, damn, man. I don't know. Would be nice to be in a place like there for some days to have the experience, But definitely, I know that I can't live in a place that it's like 5, 6 months super cold. Oh man, I really can handle it, and I can live in a super hot place, you know, with some fan in my side, just spinning somewhere if it's super hot, and I will feel like okay, you know, like
Dang.
better.
Okay. If you were a rapper, what would your rapper name be?
My rapper name it will be Little Weird, Little Weird man,
Hey!
Little
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay. What's the most? Do you have like an embarrassing story you can share with us of maybe a show that you had that kind of went terribly wrong, or something that
Man,
happened that was really embarrassing?
I have so many, man, so many. Oh my god. Like there's one that I really like to talk because someone did a big festival, like a big market for a festival, mounts and mounts, and was like it was supposed to be like a really beautiful Woodstock kind of festival with many genres of music, 5 stages, in the middle of a kind of how I say it. There is a city in Brazil that it's kind of sacred city that the people go there like to because the energy of the place, you
Uh
know,
huh.
like there's this kind of stuff on this place, and it's this place it's really hippie related and music related and weed related, and then was like okay, I will play in this festival. They went to me to play there and was like, oh, we will be the best festival of the year. And then we went to the festival, me and this other guy that lives here with me, and we get there and was just one stage working and in the middle of nowhere in the middle of a mountain, and was like around I don't know 1,000, almost 1,000 people in the dance floor in this stuff, in this stage. And I will play like 4 hours after I went there. Then I start to play and start to rain in the place,
Whoa! Damn.
and then was okay, you know, like people was enjoying the flood of water with, you know, like with the mood, and they don't care. They was just dancing, and at some point, half of the dance floor just start to running out of the dance floor, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then it starts to rain rocks of ice. You know, like when you
Ooh,
have,
yeah, hail.
I don't know, yeah, I don't know how is the word in English
It's called
for like
hail.
hail. Yeah, and then half of the dance floor again went like out, and then the storm just became stronger and stronger, and then like lightning a lot, like brah, brah. At some point,
Dang.
the roof of the stage just went out, just was flying away, you know. And then I took the equipment and put behind the table, like to not get everything uh, water and everything, and I keep
Yeah.
play it a little bit more, and then someone just get and say, okay, let's turn this off, and when I went to the middle of the festival, I realized that was apocalypse happened. You know, like a lot of people was hurt because they was running
Oh
in the middle of
no.
a place that was like there's hole in the ground. Two guys was dead because of lightning.
What?
You know, man, was like super crazy. You know, like really like a terror history
That's like a
after
scene in a
I went
movie,
off the
man.
set. Yeah,
Holy
and
shit.
in I pass all the night, wake up, you know, and trying to reach my friends, and everybody of the festival was out they clothes because all the tents went out in the air with the storm, you know, and then they lost everything, like the clothes, the bags, everything. And the festival has at this point like 3,000 of people around in the middle of nowhere. And one day before, they even the people start to how I say, people from the festival. There's a big truck with a lot of food and drinks that
Uh-huh.
get stuck in the middle of the festival, and
Oh
then
my.
people start to get there and get the stuff right.
Yeah.
And we just saw that and say, okay, let's check what is happening. And when we went near to the truck, just went one guy with a chainsaw trying to protect the truck, you know, like
Oh
going with a
shit.
chainsaw.
What the
Man,
hell?
totally crazy terror story, no one gets hurt, instead the two guys in the middle of the storm that was hit by a lightning. But
Wow.
yeah, the festival became like a really
That's crazy,
terror
man.
story,
The Brazilian Chainsaw
and
Massacre.
I even have a video playing there, man. Let's check the video. We
Yeah,
have
dude, show us
picture.
this video. What? Bro, how is that real, man? That's a fucking
This was
nightmare,
the
bro.
dance floor. Look, check, nightmare. My set was fun. Like people had fun until get shit. Like
Wow. Wow. Oh shit. Oh shit. Dang.
I just did like a big build up. They don't know when the drop it will be, and it's long, like 2 minutes build up. They just get crazy.
They're
like,
just
oh my
waiting.
God, where it goes.
Wow, man. I love how the instrumental, the song that you're playing, goes perfect with the setting. Oh, dude, that's so awesome, man. That must be such a great feeling. And then I'm guessing you were on stage just jumping up and down, going crazy, huh?
Jumping for sure. Like my first 2 hours of set was really special because everyone was just getting there exactly like in this time. I went like 3 hours before the gates open. Then everyone wants to party, and was the first day of festival. And just this stage was open, and that's like everyone was just in this place. And like the first 2 hours was amazing, and the second 2 hours like scary
Just
storm,
fucking whoosh,
just
went
fucking the
all
rest of
way.
the night was crazy. And even the look that, I think there's videos from the chainsaw guy.
Oh, no way.
This was like,
Oh my god, I just heard the chainsaw. What the hell? Holy shit. Whoa,
Oh, God, man.
bro. The fact that
It's
there's a
a- it's-
video of
it's-
this, that's perfect.
it's enough of
Holy
this. Yeah,
crap,
they
bro.
did a video of that.
That's insane, dude. Wow. That's honestly, bro, that story, wow. That is a fucking experience. That is a wow, bro. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm so glad that you had videos to show too.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
there's one of these stories. There's so many. It was like 20 years touring. I went to
yeah.
many different troubles around the world.
Dang, man. But wow, that is just fucking awesome. I mean, it's not awesome that it ended up being bad and people got hurt. But
yeah,
the fact
but
that you
it's
have
nice
a story.
to can have exactly and can
Wow.
show it and you can talk about it. It's nice.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what's your favorite video game? I know you said you like the game. What's
Man,
your favorite? Do you
okay,
have
I'm
one?
gonna say it like, yeah, I have one, but the one that I most played was like Final Fantasy VII. It's my favorite game, and I'm now playing the remake of it for PlayStation 4, and it's amazing. I didn't play it too much. Like sometimes I pass 2-3 weeks without play, but I'm playing it and enjoying it a lot. Like it's my favorite game ever.
Oh man, I gotta play that one. I never played any Final
Jesse-
Fantasy growing up. Oh,
Jesse Fox, bro, I can juggle your chains.
dang.
Jesse Fox, if you was there, you're gonna probably save the truck. but the guy can't, you know. With
Jesse Fox would have pulled out his flute and played like a beautiful melody, and everybody would have just chilled out. The guy would have turned off his chainsaw, and everybody would just end up hugging. Honestly.
Exactly, and they will share all the drinks from the truck to join themselves in the party with
Exactly.
with Morning Glow. That's the best option. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. Let's see. Do you have a milestone that you always look back at that kind of like defined who you became as a musician?
Yeah, like I think that happened time to time, that you just realize like, okay, I did that at the one, I did that, and I did that, and I still here, and I still need to do more stuff, and then you need to set up new ones, you know, like, okay, let's do a show inside the game, let's create a Twitch channel, let's make more videos from YouTube, let's connect with musicians. It's always a new goal, you know, like that make you keep going.
It's a cycle.
And I it's a cycle, exactly, because sometimes like when you start or before you start, you just look to a famous DJ and say, oh my god, it's so beautiful, you there and you play music and people love you and you get money and you play what you love, and it's beautiful, it's the perfect. But yeah, with time you just going learning, you know, how it really is. Like it's not about that, you know, it's about a lot of work. It's like this part that looks amazing, it's just 1 hour that you performing the stage, you know, and people it's enjoying your music. But it's much more out of there, you know, to get
Right.
there and to keep doing. And yeah, we need to create new points to get there every day, I think.
No, I agree. Do you have any pet peeves when working with musicians? Is there something that you just can't stand when somebody that you're maybe collabing with or performing with does?
No, actually not.
Really? Oh, okay.
Actually not. No, yeah, I normally it's very easy to collab because yeah, don't have maybe if something is really wrong, you know, or like it really not sounds good, they're gonna say, man, this is not sounding good. Like there's something weird. Like you but most of the time people know a little bit what they are doing and went everything well. Like in my case, most of the time, yeah.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite instrument to listen to?
Mm, bass, like a fretless bass. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh yeah, I would like
Fretless bass, like without frets, you know, like, and then you have the glides. Like, I love it. Bass sounds.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
also came like catch me on the psytrance, because at this time we don't have this trap music with the full 808, and like I feel it that power on psytrance, because like a huge kick with three big notes of bass, tuku, 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 or funking it, tuku, 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 tuku.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it, like how fat the bass sounds and how the kick hits you, and you feel it like, you know.
Oh, I love that, man. That's one thing that I miss about going to shows and like live music. Being in the crowd and the bass is so fat and loud, it literally takes your
Feeling the
breath
music,
away.
yeah, getting
You know,
your,
like
yeah,
there have been times where it's like, you know, I have to take a big breath because it just hits
Yeah.
me, you know? And oh, I love
Exactly.
that feeling, bro. I love that feeling.
that is
What's your favorite holiday?
favorite holiday. Man, I don't have a favorite one, because because I work for myself, I don't have holidays anyway, you know, like
That's a
in
funny
the new
answer,
year I'm here like doing something, and in the Christmas I'm here doing something.
Same shit, different day.
Yeah, exactly. Like then like it's just work. I like when I can get out and visit my family, you know, like I put myself out and then I take a plane and then go to visit my family, and then I stay there 1 2 weeks without the studio, like just hanging, or you know, like disconnecting from that.
Right.
That is good to do time in time.
Oh yeah. You know what? There have been a few times where, like, I think maybe 2 years ago, I went on a trip to Sequoia National Park. It's a national park that we have here in California. You know, with like one of the biggest. I think it has the oldest tree in the world, called General Sherman, and it's just this beautiful national park. up in this mountain. You got these giant sequoia trees, beautiful, beautiful scenery, beautiful nature, no phone signal. And I went out there for maybe 3 or 4 days. And that was one of the only times where I actually did not play music or touch my guitar for 3 or 4 days straight. And a funny thing happened. When I came back and I picked up my guitar, I was way more creative than I had ever been. I picked it up, and even though maybe like as far as technical ability, maybe I was just a little bit sloppy, but the ideas and the creativity and the way I heard the notes was different. And I feel like sometimes it's good to take a break. Not always.
Yeah.
Now, it's different when you take a break every single day for 6 hours to play video games. It's different. But when you're working really, really hard and then you have like 1 or 2 full days off, it's hard to do.
It's important, man.
It's hard to do, but it is important, I feel like. And, you know, it recharges our energy.
Exactly. It's totally, I totally agree. And I think like if you stay like, sometimes I work 1 week, 2 weeks in a song, and then after that I'm gonna need like 2 days without working a song, without listening to too much music, you know, like doing other stuff like cataloging or artworks, whatever, and listen like, because normally when I went to a track I'm gonna be a lot of time exposure to sometimes more loud music than I need, you know, like
Right.
just because sometimes I'm crank it up like to feel and get it down, and I pass like 10 hours, 8 hours sometimes in the front of computer.
Yeah.
And then when you take that break and you go back to studio after that and you listen to it again, you know, it's super clean, you know, like you just see it. Oh, okay, I just have this to fix it. I just realized that now.
Yeah.
And
You
if
get a
you
whole
stay
new perspective.
trying, exactly. If you just stay trying, you get tired of the song, and then you don't see some parts of it. You get blind in some points.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. All right, last question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how dope is my mustache?
20.
Oh, all right. I like that answer. I love that answer. All right. I'll take that. Thank you. Yo, Tiago,
Man,
thank you
I just accept to came in for because you have a beautiful mustache, man.
Oh, that's the only
What-
reason
what?
why. Yeah. People don't care about me or my musical ability. They like the mustache.
No, man, it's
That's
just
it.
because the mustache. That's
Yeah.
it.
That's
kidding,
all it
man.
is. Hey, Tiago, honestly, this has been a real pleasure, man. You have shared so much wisdom, so many beautiful stories. And honestly, man, you really inspired me. I know you inspired everybody who was here listening on Twitch TV. And also, all the people who are going to hear this on YouTube. Dude, keep doing you. And I'm so thankful to have you on the show, man. This conversation has really just been a blessing.
Yeah, man. I can say same of my side. Thank you for inviting me, to having me here, and to let me talk about my shit and showing my stuff. And
course.
it's amazing also to know a little bit more about you and your story, and super great to hang and help me even to improve my English, because I need to have more and more like conversations.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and sometimes just get nervous, you know, because like, oh my god, I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna understand everything, and
No.
now it's getting easier and
Yeah,
easier.
no,
And
you-
it's because I'm involved with this community, and they help me in many sides, you know, to improve my music, to improve my language, to everything, to improve
Right.
myself.
Man, yeah, this has honestly just been incredible, man. Thank you so much. Yo, shout out to T to the C. Thank you so much for the bits. Shout out to
the
Deathbringer.
sea, thank you.
Yeah. Shout out to Jesse Fox, Deathbringer, Code
Jesse
DZ,
Fox.
Mr.
Wow.
Kane. Everybody who was here watching, thank you so very much. I'm going to have all of Tiago's links down in the description box in case you're watching on YouTube, and I'll also have mine as well. I hope you all have a wonderful, great day. Tiago, thanks again, man. This has been incredible, man. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, man. It was amazing. I love it. The full conversation. We went like 3 hours and time.
I know.
Just,
I wasn't expecting to go 3 hours. Usually I cut it at about like an hour and a half. But, bro, our conversation was too damn good to end, man. I had to keep going. This was
Yeah.
just a real pleasure, bro. I really enjoyed myself. All right, guys. Peace out, and I will see you guys next time.
peace out. Thank you all.